Welcome back to Kind of Funny's DCEU in review. That's right, we are ranking and reviewing every single movie in the DC Extended Universe. I'm Tim Gettys. This is Andy Cortez.
Hey, guys.
That is Greg Miller.
You're a piece of shit for not wearing that costume, you coward.
Fuck it, dude. You know, it wasn't even in this
Have
movie.
some fun. Have some fun.
I'm
Have
only
some
going to wear the
fun.
movies he's in. Makes sense. Or
wasn't
will
in
I?
this movie.
You risk
Will
your
I?
life to fucking get your eyes cut open. You come back for one show, you think, you know, you
Blind
can
Fury,
fucking-
dude.
Kevin
Best
Coelho
superhero
is
ever.
rolling over in his little grave right now because he spent
Why does he have a
small
little
grave.
grave?
Oh,
It's
he's
a 3x3.
It's 3x3 because he made it himself and he didn't measure it out correctly.
Like the
because
green suit.
he spent 15 hours making that green suit yesterday or, for Birds of Prey.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you should really save this for when we're all together. It'll be hilarious. And he was like, no, I want to do it now. And it worked.
It did work.
Why
That
aren't you
was the
tying
thing
your
of beauty.
suit closed anymore?
Because I'll tell you what,
You
this
give it
suit
up.
Scarpino
gives
as well.
me a
He just
horrendous
wants to
allergic
talk
reaction.
shit, but you know,
Yeah.
that's
You
it.
can't tell. You can't tell. Look, perfect. Party in the back.
Oh man, this is DCU in review. Every single week we review one of these movies on twitch.tv/kindafunny games. You can also watch the video later on youtube.com/kindafunny, roosterteeth.com, or podcast services around the globe. Just search for Kinda Funny Reviews. You can also get the show ad-free by going to patreon.com/kindafunny, just like our Patreon producers did. There are many. The Nanobiologist, Frank Furter, Mohammed, Justin Toft, Das Bear Jew, Blackjack, Jarrett Brown, and Jameson Shafransky.
Frank
Yeah.
Furter. Met him in Dallas. This
Yeah,
past
how'd
weekend.
that go?
It was fun.
Does he like hot dogs a lot, or is he just playing Frank? Is his last
He
name
walked
Furter?
in and security was like, we can't let you in here with that many hot dogs.
Dude,
they were falling out
looks
of
like
his jacket.
you are up to something, sir. We cannot have
You're
this
going to take
happen.
all of the money away from the vendors in here who are selling hot dogs.
Today we're talking about Wonder Woman, released June 2nd, 2017, directed by Patty Jenkins, an American film and television director.
PJ.
Put some spice on that. Patty Jenkins.
dude. She directed the films Monster in 2003, Wonder Woman in 2017, and she will be directing the upcoming Wonder Woman 1984.
June.
Halle Berry Monster?
That's Monster's
No.
Ball.
Monster was
Charlize
Charlize
Theron.
Theron.
Monster.
And that was in 2003?
Yeah, Charlize Theron's 87 years old.
Yeah, it's like, look down.
That does not feel like it's 2003.
Wasn't she also slated to direct Thor 2 as well?
Yeah, and there was a whole thing of that's why Natalie Portman
yeah,
backed
yeah.
out of the MCU and all that stuff. Now she's back. A budget of $150 million, box office of $821.8 million, runtime 2 hours and 21 minutes. Before we get into the plot on that stuff, gentlemen. What? Oh, by the way, Kevin's back's broken, so that's why he's not.
Oh,
here.
really?
Like the bat.
Yeah.
He like
He's been
he
carrying the company for a while,
He
man.
pulled something, so he just needs to rest for the day. He's
Yeah.
yeah.
He had to go to a chiropractor.
Which like I was
That is
concerned
the
about.
oldest thing that's
chiropractor.
ever happened to Kevin
Yeah.
Coelho.
Yeah.
I'm sad. It's the
Yeah,
beginning of the
today
end.
when he was here doing the Borderlands show with me, he was like, if I'm sitting up straight and it feels a little bit better. You think I should still go? And I'm like, Kevin, if you thought you should go to, if Kevin Coelho was going to the doctor of any kind, go.
Yeah.
Because that means that you must be in extreme pain. If you're like, I'm actually going to go pay someone to look
Kevin
at this.
Coelho, though, proving my point that if you just
Proving my point.
never go to the doctor, you don't know what's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you.
Thank you.
What
man.
happened? Paula made him go to one doctor. How many goddamn doctors has he been to in the last month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
You know what I mean?
He's been
now everything's wrong.
He was an earlobe specialist the other day. Yeah.
You're right.
You're
Not
right.
going to the
Good
doctor for
lobes.
20 years is definitely not what caused all him having to go to the doctor 20 times.
What do we
now.
think of Wonder Woman?
I thought it was kind of boring.
It is. Truthfully, like I walked out of the theater going, "Oh, that was actually a fun movie," but I think it was by comparison's sake to the last few that came out. Unfortunately, we just watched Birds of Prey last week, which I thought was a really fun movie. So watching this again, this feels kind of slow, a little pointless at times, and then it kind of missing an entire third act, which
Well, it
is
has one. It's
it
just not
does,
the one
but it's
that
very
we wanted
fast
or deserved.
It's not to say that it's not. I still think it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
I still think it's well put together, and I really like the chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. I think they nailed that. In fact, Chris Pine, shout out to him because I'm like, you really played this character.
He's great.
Great.
He's fantastic.
And I like that last scene he's in where he kind of looks back and he smiles for a second and like blows up the ship. I'm like, damn, that actually hit me hard. I don't get all the hate for the last fight scene. I still to this day have no idea why people give that so much shit.
It's just another CG battle. It's out of the blue. It's the fucking werewolf guy from Harry Potter who's
First
like
off,
the most
that's
unassuming.
Professor Lupin, and that's why it was dope because you're
He's
like,
the
I
most
didn't think it was this
unassuming
guy.
British
that's why it's
dude,
not
great
dope.
actor, and then like it would have been like just have him ditch that facade altogether.
Yeah.
Like have him like drop that entire thing and be fucking The
Yeah.
Rock or whoever.
But that shot of him when it's his face in the
Yeah,
armor,
it's like,
get
no,
out of
man,
here.
no,
I don't
no,
want
no,
some
no.
60-year-old
That's not the one
British
that's-
man fighting me. You know.
See, I thought it was cool because I thought it was just unassuming. Like when he's there and he turns around, she's like, "What the
Yeah,
fuck
no,
are you
he's
doing?"
great.
Creepy
Up
as
until the
shit.
CG, he's great. I love him. Yeah.
What was a little bit weird was when they show him in bondage after like Zeus had like excommunicated him from Mount Olympus, and it's his face, but he's jacked out and just glistening. And you're
Yeah.
like, I don't think that's what that guy's body looks like.
That was weird. I mean, to me, it was just that scene, like we talked about a million times, it turns into CG fest, whatever. But to me, it's more than that. It's like, it's story based, where it's like this guy, totally unassuming the entire movie. You're telling me like it felt like a twist for twist's sake.
Yep.
Where I'm like,
Exactly.
that was not built at all. Period. He's just here, and now all of a sudden, the very poignant scene we just had between Wonder Woman and Steve talking about like
Maybe Ares isn't real.
It's not just one man. It's
Yeah.
like it's more than that. Whatever. And it's like no, it is. It is also.
I don't do it. I just give them the ideas. They are the
Yeah.
ones who
And it
run
was just
off
like,
and do
wow,
everything.
you built this entire movie to this point, and then it just kind of like you just flipped on the entire thing.
They wanted the audience to go, "Oh my gosh, it's that guy!" And then like I'm watching, and like, "Oh yeah, that's
See,
right, that was the twist."
It would have been
was
so
kinda
much more
bland.
powerful, yeah. If the message was like, yeah, it's not one man, we're not perfect. I got to go do this. You got to do what you got to do, and she has to accept that man's fallible.
But see, I'll disagree with you guys a little bit because that was the message. The message was he was like, I don't know. He's like, it is not just one person. We do this, but we also do great stuff too. And I'm gonna go prove that to you right now. I'm gonna go sacrifice myself for humanity. And in doing that, she realizes, okay, I'm gonna stay in this world and be a defender of like humanity and help them be great, just like Superman was supposed to do.
But then there's the whole Ares thing we just talked about.
Well, there is the Ares thing, but then, which was a little bit weird. They had the edit where the guy's like the Nazi soldier, or not the Nazi soldiers, excuse me, they're not Nazis. They're the German soldiers in the First Reich, or not First Reich, excuse me, the German soldiers
in World War I.
World War One.
Their shoulders. Yeah.
And their shoulders. when Ares dies, they all go.
They all do start doing this.
That was
and,
a
like,
little
doing,
bit
like-
weird.
I thought we just said that wasn't what this was. I
Totally.
thought we just said Ares wasn't the cause of the war. Or it
Yeah.
isn't the impetus. Like he gives the ideas, he lays out for new tools to destroy each other, but he's not the guy who would literally do this end the war.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So weird.
But the performance that Chris Pine puts on once Wonder Woman sort of realizes why are they still fighting? What's going on? I love Chris Pine trying to get across to her without
The
trying to-
complexities of
yeah,
humanity,
like
yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't. Like I love
And
that
then him
whole-
running off. It's
Yeah.
fucking dope, man. Like
He's really
you
good.
nailed it. Their chemistry is so good.
Yeah.
The entire time they're on screen together, I'm like, I'm here for it. She is fantastic.
She's so fun to watch.
But like
in this.
he steps up, and I think that like that to me is the most impressive thing about the movie is that I buy them together, even though she is so much out of his league.
You think Chris Pine would have been a better Cyclops instead of James Marsden?
No, I think that would have ruined his career. Unfortunately, I think he made a great Captain Kirk, though. God bless him.
bless
This movie makes me excited for 1984.
Hell yeah.
Because to me, this is going. To me, I feel like this is Patty Jenkins getting kind of a running start on the next one, which I think she's gonna knock out of the park. Similar to how like Margot Robbie kind of had to get all the crap out with Suicide Squad and then came into Birds of Prey really nailing the character. I feel like they've got an established vocabulary together and they're going to go forward, and I think they're going to knock that one out of the park.
This is the first time in the DCEU where we've rewatched it, and I liked it markedly more than I did the first time.
Really?
More.
If you remember the first time, I was lukewarm on it. Where I was hung up on all the bullshit that I'm sure we'll talk about in this movie, like the third act for sure. This is still
cuts.
third act.
There's
The
two cuts that are
dude.
so bad in
And
this
she
movie.
reaches for the sword. I don't have my sword. We cut away. She comes back. I have my sword. Like why?
Why?
Why did you leave it? Why in editing did they not just take it out of her?
Like that's
but-
supposed to
but-
show the audience like I don't have my sword. You took it. Oh my goodness! Like what an evil man. And then I got it back.
So normally
Just had to
visually
climb that.
you'd have her go, I don't have my sword, right? And then that would come into play
and then he
20
shows-
minutes later,
yeah.
he's got the sword, or she sees the sword, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
that
He pulls it
saves her,
behind
right?
him and he
Gets it
goes.
somehow.
Chris
Yeah,
Pine
yeah.
slides it to her or whatever, and she stabs him right at the end, right? But they have her come. Someone was like, "Oh, audiences are going to freak out if she doesn't have her sword." Even though we cut away from that scene and then cut back, and if she just had her sword, the audience, you would have filled in the blanks of like, "Oh, she just went up to the fucking thing and got it," or whatever.
right there.
Or we just didn't need to see her go grab it for it. It would have been
Yeah, if it's not
totally
gonna be a
fine
plot device,
to
who
just
cares?
have her have the sword. She didn't have her shield the whole fucking
I
time. It
remember,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
when we reviewed it the first time or talked about it, because did we do a review last time
Yeah.
for this one? Yeah. I remember like that being a hang up, the fact she takes that woman's dress and just leaves her out in the cold. Nobody
Oh,
knows
that
what ever
woman
happened
is
to that
dead.
woman again.
No, but to me, the
Eaten by
most
bears.
the movie has some. I think it's overall fairly well edited. I think a lot of the action sequences are really fucking
Action's
cool.
great, I think.
Real
But there
good.
are just two real rough spots. That one and the one right when we're about to see her as Wonder Woman. She goes, he's like, you can't go out there. No man can go out there. It's called no man's land. No man can go out there. And they thankfully don't go any farther than that. But
Luckily,
she goes,
I'm a woman.
But she goes, I'll go out there. I'll go out there. And she
Nick,
literally
do this. Look at me, and I'll be the soldier who's like looking at her,
Yeah.
who's off camera. I'm in the corner screen. I'm like, what? And then, what's she doing? Like, I don't know why they did that.
It's so weird
Well,
because
it's not. There's more than that too, because it's her doing a little like shimmy too, because it's her getting out of her Diana Prince outfit into or revealing her Wonder Woman
totally
armor.
the
it's
dumbest
weird, man.
fucking thing they could have possibly. All they
Followed
needed
by a
to
great
do-
scene.
Followed by an
Followed by a great
amazing
scene
moment.
that just like totally wasn't earned. It's like my thing with that scene is that we needed it in this movie. We need the Wonder Woman moment. It is fucking dope. Everything about it is cool as hell. But it's just like we're thrown into this trench warfare way too quickly, and it's like I feel like there's a lot of just knowledge necessary of World War I going into this to understand what even's going on, because they go from just we're in this town to we're in this fucking battlefield so fast, and it's like I don't without them telling me, yo, it's no man's land.
Had they mentioned that like 50 times beforehand, then it would have like, oh,
There's this issue going
It doesn't
on.
matter. She's going.
Yeah. But this is just kind of like they're literally like, no one can do that.
There's
She's
a
like,
battalion.
I can. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Listen,
all
I'll tell you,
right.
you want that education, watch 1917. That's all the education you need on trench warfare. It'll tell you exactly where the front lines were and all that stuff. Which, by the way, in the little asterisk at the beginning of the movie, it says, pause this and watch 1917
Got it.
first.
Oh, wow. I
Just so
didn't
you
see
can
that.
understand.
I didn't see that.
It's not that I didn't understand. It's just that like it literally is the definition of tell instead of showing.
Yeah, the moment leading up to it, I think when it happens and the music hits, it's like it's intense and I got goosebumps and everything. But then it just audio listeners, Greg, can you describe to them what I'm
Sure,
doing?
Andy's getting up and he looks fucking sexy, and he's running in place, and he's knocking away bullets like Diana did, and he's got his bracelets on.
Get
he's
one of
doing
those
it.
missiles though.
That's just that's what it looks like. It's just like a weird slow motion run where she is clearly not running. She's on a treadmill of some sort. And like that's
Well,
not how
it's all CG,
that's not how
yeah.
a person runs. Yeah, like it just looked really odd and funky to me.
Yeah, it is one of those things where like we get this scene. We have to see her for the first time ever in the Wonder Woman costume. It's a great glam shot. That's cool. But then we also established that she can literally hurl her body fucking 9,000 feet up into the air and smash down wherever she wants.
Well, remember, she got a little
Shield.
yeah, a little jump pad action there from the guys.
Yeah, what about the end there where she just hurls herself out of a fucking patio window and just lands God knows where in London, smashes through a boat, sinks the
Wait,
boat.
dude, why was that shot so bad?
I don't know.
The last shot, the final shot.
Was she? Oh, she was in
Yeah,
Paris.
she's
Right,
at
by
the
the
Louvre.
Louvre.
It was just like, damn, you're gonna end the
So
movie
much-
with
like,
this.
is she
shit?
gonna land on a bridge with the water?
She's been
Why did they-
absorbing the sun's power a lot, and she's getting more powerful and more powerful.
atmosphere.
Adams,
The
dude.
atmosphere.
I'll say there's another shot that sticks out that's absolutely horrible. When the little girl jumps off the balcony and falls like 5,000 feet and someone catches her and it's only been 1 foot. It's like such a bad CG.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, this again, just going back to it, I really enjoyed the movie the first time around, and this time I just kind of felt bored with it. It
dragged a little.
and I think it is after watching Birds of Prey and having so much fun with it and laughing a lot. I do think Chris Pine is insanely charming, and when him and Gal Gadot are on screen, it's magic.
Fuck, by the way, that scene where he comes out of the little bath, little jacuzzi.
Give it to him.
Were they born in labs? Now it's time to rank those abs.
Man, he looked good. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rank Those Abs podcast. I'm your host, Nick Scarpino. With me, of course, as always, is Andy Cortez and
looked
Barrett
fantastic.
Courtney rounding out the trio. Holy shit, he looked good in this. And he's just got that nice body type where it's long and lean, and if he just gets super skinny, he just looks jacked.
Yeah, muscular.
Fantastic.
How much do you think he worked for that?
I think he worked really hard for that. I think he lost a lot of weight. Like all the crew lost a lot of weight for Into Darkness.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
And I don't know why. I think they had some weird thing where they're all like, "We're gonna get really, really skinny for this." So I don't know if those. Like, go back and watch Into Darkness versus
It's the first one. Yeah,
the first one. They all look tiny, like gaunt. I don't know why, but I think all the guys like
Space-
bet each
Yeah,
other. I
so
could lose
big.
more.
Where space no one can hear you eat.
Exactly.
I think it was because there's a little more action in Into Darkness, especially in that third act. So there's a lot of like, oh, we should be really active and try to get fit and stuff. So
I don't know what happened, but he like when he came out of the water, I was like, Jesus Christ! I
for
forgot
you.
you got a good body.
Yeah.
He
He
looked
also
jacked.
real good lips, huh?
Beautiful lips.
Good eyes.
You know what else? You know what else,
Good
Andy?
eyes,
Andy,
good
what am I
lips.
doing right here?
Good hairline.
My dream hairline.
Yeah.
man.
He's got my
He's
dream
got
hairline.
fantastic hair.
Fuck, his hair's so
Does.
thick.
Hey, he's got some of the best hair I've ever seen in
it's
any
like
movie.
him and Oscar Isaac. Their hair could fucking make
Yeah.
better, like the best hair on the planet.
I mean, that would just make Taika Waititi's hair. You know.
Oh, Taika Waititi's got great hair too.
And then there's the Amazonians, Nick.
Oh my! Oh, dude, great casting on these women. Fucking jacked. I don't know what CrossFit they rated to get these women.
So I don't have
But
any.
Jesus
I don't have any
Christ,
Chris
they're
Pine jacked facts for you, but I do got a lot of the women's side of things. Godot trained 6 hours a day for 6 months in preparation for the role, gaining 17 pounds of muscle. She describes Wonder Woman's fighting style as a mix of martial arts called Wonder Fu.
That's
So
dope.
there we go. The Amazons were trained by the same people who worked on 300.
I knew it. I was like,
According to Connie Nielsen, who played the Queen, the woman playing Amazon roles would have 3,000 calories a day and then do 2 hours of weightlifting, 2 hours of sword play, and 2 hours of horseback riding. When the movie went back for reshoots, Godot was 5 months pregnant. The production team worked around it by putting green fabric, essentially a green screen, in front of her belly.
And that kid,
Holy shit.
jacked.
yeah.
No, you know, I
I didn't notice that at all.
I didn't know say that. I really do appreciate the like how big they got for these scenes. Like normally you'd be like I really do think it sells that Amazonian vibe, especially when you see women with the big lats and the shoulders. They just look like they could fucking tear a horse
Pick up
apart
a
if they
horse,
wanted
yeah.
to. I think it looks really cool.
Dude,
Kudos to them
Themyscira,
for that
the
dedication.
entire thing about that. Like, I love the look of it. I love how they look, and the fighting style's so fucking dope. Like, the horses and them, like, drifting
It's
on
so
the
sick.
horses and, like,
Yeah.
just doing different shit. I'm like, I love it
Grappling
when
arrows.
there's,
Yeah.
like, unique language
And
to the style of, like, both the choreography of the fights and stuff, but also just the way that they move. And, like, this movie nails that in a way that we haven't seen often in superhero movies.
You know what it doesn't nail? Robin Wright Penn's accent the entire time. Ooh, that was rough.
I don't know.
He's like a weird Russian because I think the lead actor or her mother is Connie Nielsen. Is that her name? She has a weird. I think she's a Dutch. I want to say or Scandinavian degree. So she has that accent that kind of meshes with Gal Gadot's accent, which is I know they're totally from different regions, but like that it's to dumbass Americans, they both sound
Yeah.
like cool and foreign. But like Robin Wright tries to do an accent that matches them, and it comes off as weirdly Russian at times. And I'm like, this is just
I didn't notice.
just normally talk.
The whole thing
I
just
didn't
gave me
like
vibes of Odyssey. What made me want to go back and play more Odyssey.
Cool, man.
But anyways, it's back to the point I was making a long time ago.
Babs.
I was rough on it, I think, in review, and this, so I think my expectations were super low for it this time around. I had a great time. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think it's an
still a good
enjoyable
movie.
movie.
I think it's a good movie.
It's just when you watch it a second time, you're like, it just feels a little thin, and it doesn't feel like there's like a lot of stuff with the group that I'm like, why the fuck do we need these guys in this at all? Why was this not
Charlie
just
and
Chris Pine?
Sammy doing it for you?
I mean,
My favorite, too, is
they
when
take
they-
a sidetrack like, oh, we got to get a team together. Why?
They're walking.
You got fucking Superman.
The picture
and
in
you-
the last movie, Nick.
Yeah.
And
The DCEU, they're
Charlie
building.
with his sniper rifle that he doesn't even use or whatever. Like you're like, oh, you get him together because he's a great sniper. Oh no, okay, he sings and he said whatever. But like when they're walking through the woods after when they're going to the banquet or whatever, right? And they've already thrown her through a fucking building and seen
Yeah.
her take out no man's land. And then like Charlie goes back to being dismissive of everything. Like
Yeah,
when they're
he's
like,
like, I don't know, man.
Themyscira,
Gods?
Zeus, all this stuff. He's like, "Pff, really? You kind of like. What else
have you been
need to
looking
see?"
you held up a metal plate.
Yeah.
She
And-
jumped off of it and took out the entire 5 fucking story building.
Yeah.
And lived.
And lived. Yeah, she's a god. She's a god. We're gonna go with this. But yeah, I don't know. To me, that was one of those moments. Like same with Captain America, where you're like, why the fuck are they putting this team together? It's not. They didn't give them anything fun to do. There was no real use to that. And to me, that 30 minutes of them doing stuff together just felt like this could have been time spent actually watching Wonder Woman do cool shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I liked it the first time. I didn't like the third act at all. And this time I liked it about equal. I just think that in relation to other movies, like so many movies have come after this where it's like, oh, it's fine. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's good. It's fine. But let's get to the plot.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, do your thing. You're back to work.
Which one?
Plot, right?
Plot.
Everybody! Dun, 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 dun. Oh, so we start as all
Was that
good
Mortal
things
Kombat?
No, it's the start. Yeah, he knew exactly what
fucking
I was
nailed it, bro.
fucking idiot.
Get
Did you
on
watch
our
this
level,
movie?
man.
Did you do the fucking homework?
You take 3 days off, you go down to LA, you forget all the dorky shit we do here. Or wherever the fuck you were.
By the way,
Dallas?
yeah, did you watch it? Did you by any chance watch Interview last
It was
week
really
when they posted
good.
it?
Yeah.
No, it's the best because Nick remembered none of the segments or anything. He's like just totally going at the
Oh, I
end.
thought
I
you were
tried
just
my
gonna
be-
reference Kevin. Kevin was really good.
Kevin with the green screen was amazing.
Yeah.
And I did a good job.
That's the interview. This movie starts as all good things should in the world and timeline of Batman v Superman. It's already happened. Superman's dead. Wonder Woman's revealed herself to the world. Diana Prince is back at the Louvre in France, right there, working her little museum job underneath the glass pyramid. I know it well. I was just there a while ago. You know what I mean? I walked over there.
I always want to break into it. Don't you just want to break in and rob the Louvre?
Yeah. Take the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. Looks cool.
Take it like, but do it like one of those things like it happens real quick, like the lights all go out. Like people are there looking at the Mona Lisa, the lights go out, and it's like chung, 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 and everybody's like, "What the hell happened?" The lights come back, chung, chung, and it's just like a Chuck E. Cheese children's menu where it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be
that's
awesome.
fucking
That'd be really
dope.
great.
And
No,
then we're
we're not-
outside, and we take off the fake mustaches, right?
Oui, oui.
Then jetpacks. We reveal ourselves to the
You're
world.
Stogie.
Oh yeah, I'm Graveler. He's stoked. Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, she's working there, and that's great. And outside, there's a Wayne Enterprise truck there, and it's got some kind of really what's this fancy thing? What is this deal? It's a football or whatever.
Why was it in the world's most secure?
It's Bruce Wayne,
suitcase?
man.
It's Bruce Wayne. He
You
wants to
can't-
fuck. He wants to fuck Wonder Woman.
That's a fair point.
So the dude walks down.
Fair point.
Wonder Woman's in her, her office. It's got all this ancient shit around there that like the Louvre is known for. I guess I don't know. I didn't go inside the Louvre. I just walked up.
How
to
do you
it.
spell it?
Louve. There might be
Is
an
that an
R.
R?
In there. There might
There's
be
an
an
R
R
after
there.
the V.
R, yeah,
There's an R.
VRE,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Louvre.
Crazy.
Louvre.
So she's like, thanks to this Wayne Tech guy, and he leaves it. And there's these really complicated like locks on the side with numbers, but she just opens it without touching those. And I thought that was weird, but hey, I guess they can't show us anything.
Amazonian.
Release the Jenkins cut is what I said. She opens it up, and guess what's in there, everybody? Some kind of weird hologram. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking moving picture from Harry Potter. No, I'm kidding. It's a glass. It's the negative.
It's a photo.
It's
I was like, damn, did I not watch the right version of this?
it's the negative we know so well from Batman v
So
Superman, right?
Yeah.
And it's a note from Bruce of like, hey, I got you the original or whatever, and some kind of shit like that.
Here's the
Can't
original.
wait to hear more about your past.
Maybe one day
Maybe
you'll tell
get a
me your
drink.
story. And she
Yeah,
goes,
exactly.
I'll tell it to myself right now.
And that's what she does. She sits there and go, man, let's reflect on my life. And so we go to Themyscira, and guess what? There's a little, just as cute as a button Diana running
Wonder Girl,
around. A Wonder Girl, yeah, running around there, and she's having a great time running around the
Like
island.
little Bran Stark, season 1, kind of just running around the fairgrounds.
Pre-window fall.
Yeah, pre-window fall.
That guy. Yeah.
That
That
little
dude.
freak. That little freak.
Yeah, that little
Things
freak,
we do
you
for
know?
love.
And so she's running around. She's watching the
19
Amazons
years.
fight. She's jumping off shit. There's a whole bunch of stuff. You know what it is, though. Just
You know what it is.
You ever seen it? Look, hold on, everybody. Look outside your window right now. You see that kid? Imagine that kid fucking doing stuff. That's what's happening here, right? And so you're like, all right, cool. And
Barrett. I see Barrett.
She goes to jump off the thing, and her mom catches it. And this is, man, I'll tell you what. You want to know why Greg Miller could not pass high school English Greek stuff? These people's names, man, I just can't do
yeah,
it.
no.
Hippolyta, right? Hippolyta.
Hippolyta. Antiope.
Yeah. And so it's Hippolyta, but from here on, we're just going to call her Wonder
Neapolitan,
Woman's
the queen.
mom, right? She fucking grabs her and she's like, oh, you little
Little
bitch.
rascal. Oh, shit.
Slams around, slams her on the ground.
What did I tell you about having fun?
So they go back up to her room and like, all right, cool, tell me a bedtime story. And she's like, I'll tell you a bedtime story, you punk ass bitch. And she's like, how about a new one? And she's like, oh my goodness, because there was a
the
bunch of
only
other
story
ones.
that
And
matters.
it comes over with just you look at this thing, you're like, what a boring ass fucking story this will be, because it's just one giant thing. Yeah, it smells like a fart. Yeah.
Doesn't smell like a fart. It smells like a mildew.
Some boof?
Did you get your kimchi?
Yeah, it's my kimchi.
This morning, Barrett walked by and Kevin was like, "What the fuck is that smell?" Like to me in our room, we were having a conversation.
It is
And then it
kimchi.
was like, "What is going on?" And Barrett, you bring? And he's like, "Yeah, it's probably the kimchi." And you think the kimchi might have gone bad, right?
Well, no, it's weird because like when I smell it, when I bring it up and smell it, it smells fine. But there's something about like
That's just what
just,
kimchi
like
smells
the
like.
wash.
It gets stronger,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I love
super
good
weird.
kimchi.
I'll tell you what, it's not. It can't possibly be every single time Greg decides to nuke broccoli in the back there and make the entire thing smell like ass. Oh no, I'm sorry. Continue. Damn,
The
that
best
is
part is
pungent.
he's such a
though.
little coward. He's only said it once. You know what I mean? He's never told me it's like a real issue.
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
it's
What
Fine.
a
I just,
bitch.
you know what? Because your health matters more than my comfort.
Wealth. Oh.
Than my comfort. Because I respect you and I know you're be healthy. You're healthy.
So what's this little girl up to?
Anyway, she's about to get told a story, right? And you come over. This is gonna be a boring ass story. It's just one picture, but guess what? Fucks, this picture moves.
Oh
You know what I
shit!
mean?
Now the movie picture comes
You know
into
what I
play.
mean?
I love this
Exactly,
effect,
right.
by the way.
And
I
that's
thought this
that.
was
You
really
see it
fun.
now?
Really
Do you
good.
understand why
Yeah.
she's thinking of this?
Uh-huh.
Because she has her picture in the Louvre right now, reminding her of this moving picture her mom had.
And she was like, well, how fucking lame are these pictures these humans take?
And so guess what? It's the story of the Amazons. We're going to tell you all about the Amazons and Themyscira and all this fucking garbage, right? And so, yeah, that's how it works. Is that, guess what? The Greek gods, they were real. Zeus, all the rest of them or whatever. Ares, he was like, I don't like you, Zeus. I'm going to start all this war and shit, and I'm going to show you the humans are a bunch of assholes and stuff. And Zeus is like, well, this fucking sucks. I don't want this shit to happen. So he's like, I'm going to make more people, but I'm going to make them the Amazons, the Themyscira folks here.
And they're gonna.
I'm going to send them out there. They're going to calm, they're gonna
correct me-
calm
yeah, they're
men.
gonna calm men down.
Yeah, it's a real subservient role they've been given
Yeah,
here.
but also then they
Typical
become,
Zeus.
Yeah, but then they become the warriors somehow. I don't
yeah.
think Zeus thought this one through.
Little tone deaf Zeus.
So yeah, they're out there and they're all like fucking hot and they're like, hey, we're gonna do this stuff for men and they're like, cool, this will solve things. It doesn't solve things. Ares is just up there fucking murdering, just straight murking these other gods, right? And so there's just fucking warfare everywhere and everybody's like, this sucks, you know what I mean?
Not
and
good things, yeah. Real bad stuff.
Yeah. And so Zeus is like, fuck, I'm gonna kill Ares, and with the last bit of my power, I'm gonna give the Amazons the god killer weapon so that they can chill and they can have that in case I don't really kill Ares. I'm not confident in my power here as the god of lightning or whatever. And so then so that happens, and then it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna put you all on an island. I mean, like, it's just a little safety bubble over there. You guys sit on your island in the invisibility cloak. You're over there doing your shit, right? If you ever hear about Ares again from the world that you're cut off from, wink, wink, you got to get out there and use the god killer. And everybody's like, chill, cool, all right, great. And so then little Diana's like, this story sounds fucking rad. Can I see the god killer? And they're like, sure, whatever. And so we go down there and we look at this fucking sword. And we're like, that's the god killer. Wow, that's fucking cool. And the whole time you're looking at hippie Polygon here and you're like, you're not fucking, something's up here.
You're selling me a
Something's up
fucking
here.
bill
You know
of
what I
goods
mean?
right now.
She's doing that side eye thing, you know, you can't trust. Diana's like, so I was made out of clay. And she's like, yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, you were made out of clay. Yeah,
She became a 50
molded you from clay.
Your dad certainly wasn't a drifter who liked to
that's
gamble.
it. And Diana's like, chill, cool, now I'm going to train me to be a warrior. And she's like, you can't be trained to be a warrior. You're not really an Amazon. You're just fucking made of clay. You know what I mean?
You'll break.
Doesn't even make any
Put you guys
sense. You know
together
what I
with
mean?
some water.
Exactly. And she's like, well, this is fucking garbage. And so little Diana's like crawling out of air ducts and shit and like fucking, you know, turns into Die Hard. She's like, I'm going to go out and do my own thing. And Robin Wright Penn, she's like standing there. She knew exactly where Diana would go. And she's like, all right, I see what's up, man. You're a born fighter. Let's fucking do it. Let's train. And there had already been a thing where the queen was like, don't train her. And she's like, I really should train her. And she's like, I know, don't train her. I'm like, all right, I won't train her. And now she trains her. And so they train for years.
Just like in Star Wars,
Montage, man.
you can't train the boy. I will train him. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's
Fantastic
do what
casting.
you gotta do.
Can't argue with that.
Wonder
Robin Wright
Woman
Penn.
through the ages.
Oh yeah, totally.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, good job.
Yeah.
Well, the idea, of course, being the stronger that Wonder Woman gets, the quicker Ares will find her, right? That was
something brought up,
that concept of like, we can't train her because if we train her, then she'll be ready, and when she's
You
ready,
feel it in your bones, hippie Polygon. You know she's
bad.
alive.
Ares is alive.
Oh,
She's not alive. He's in there. Fuck, he's alive. So we
Fuck,
should train
she's
her.
alive. It's alive. Great. And so they train for years and years, Robin Wright Penn. They're doing bow shit. They're doing sword shit. They're doing shield shit. And you're like, this is some cool
They're
shit.
training with real swords. Like at any moment, sword right to the throat.
I mean,
Lob your
that's,
head
you
off.
know, come on now. That was the Amazon way. I know it from playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Look at man, you can punch air, you can punch humans.
It's true, too. Eventually, though, they're having a good training, and Robert Wright Penn just bops her one, like, pa! You know what I mean? She falls down. Like, oh, my nose.
Right in the kisser.
And that's, of course, when hippie Porygon rolls up, and she's like, what the fuck? Told you not? No, some respect for your queen. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, and they're like, does she really want you? Okay, I'm fine. All right, we should we'll do it. Fine. They'll train her, but you have to train her harder and faster and stronger than any fucking
Yeah,
warrior.
we went from don't train her to fine.
Fine, fuck it.
Make her train her harder than anyone
They
has
know
ever been
she's.
trained.
I mean, the hippie Porygon knows that she is the
It's been
fucking,
four different names.
the fucking god killer, right?
Listen.
So it's like, all right, cool. If you let a little bit of the gas out of the bottle here, fucking let it go full bore gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need some Wonder Woman gas up in this bitch. And they're like, Robin Wright Penn's like, I fucking got you, boo. And so then it's just we're training more, and then it's Gal, and now Gal's out there, and she's fucking shit up, and she's like, ah, man. She's like slamming shit around, she's doing stuff, she's spinning stuff, and like action looks great. Themyscira looks cool, and they're fighting, they're doing thing. And eventually, she knocks Robin Wright Penn down and is like, "Bam, I won." And Robin, and she keeps looking at her mom. Such a dumb thing. If you're a kid right now and you're like riding your bike listening to us, I just want you to know: anytime you're in a karate competition or some kind of alto saxophone competition, don't fucking look at your parents. All right? I fucking hate it. You know what I mean? I can't tell you the number of baseball games I've been at, and I see some punk ass 7-year-old look over at his phone, focus on the game.
Throw your nachos at him.
True story. I was in all-state alto sax competition.
And I looked at my parents.
I looked at my mom instead of that last note, and I lost. I lost the
haunted
alto
you ever
sax.
since.
Haunted me ever
Same
since.
exact thing happens
When I
here.
was little, I was in a bike race with this kid from across the street, and
What
my
was
mom
his
was
name?
watching. This is a true story. And I beat the shit out of this kid, Riley. Fuck him.
Wow, he broke
And-
the mold.
And I beat him. But then I looked at my mom.
Yeah.
And then I crashed into a red fence.
No
a painted
way.
red fence. And it was just red paint all over me.
Oh, it's fresh paint.
No.
Oh, you
I
should
hit that
hit
thing
that
hard,
hard.
dude.
Really
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so same exact thing happens here. Diana looks at her mom, and Robin likes, Penn, you stupid idiot. God, is kind of like a Ra's al Ghul moment, right? Of like, death doesn't wait for you. And she got like the sword, and she comes at her, and Wonder Woman's like, fuck this shit. And she goes, bam, with her bracelets, and it sends off this wave, and everybody gets knocked down.
Which
And
I
it's
still don't fully understand. What's what, like?
she's the God Killer. This is
Yeah,
her
okay,
power.
but like, why is it her? Is it? What if she wasn't wearing the bracelets? What if it was just her wrists?
Then you just heard this. That was it.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I agree it's
Are
weirdly
the bracelets
presented.
powerful, or
I think it's
is
her
she-
power. I think it's her strength. I mean, I'm totally grasping here, everybody. Her power, her strength, and I think it's that, the whatever divine metal they're using that she's able to slam it together to make reverberation.
And it's like channeling her power in
It's-
some
Yeah, right.
way.
It's one of the I think it's one of the things that's nebulous and one of the things that kind of drags this movie down a little bit because you don't actually get we don't
There's
actually
no invisible jet.
No, well, that's true.
true, too.
We don't get a lot of her powering up and then eventually being able to overcome Zeus. She just kind of goes or Ares, excuse me, not Zeus. She just kind of goes and then at the very, very end gets pissed off and then punches harder, and that's another problem. Like the very, very end scene where she gets pissed off because she sees Chris Pine
she
blow
has a
up.
complete memory conversation in her head
Yeah, which is that's
that she couldn't hear.
Don't
the
even-
first
I mean,
time.
she
Get
gets
me
powerful
fucking
because of
started
the
on that.
death. Like that pissed her off. The Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan moment, right? Goku sees Krillin die. Ah! What are you talking? Like that's motivation.
talking-
are you making this shit up?
Motivation, no man.
So but
that's not a real.
my point though is like she doesn't have to like do anything necessarily to earn that. She just kind of gets pissed off and then all of a sudden starts melting fucking steel as it comes toward her. And I feel like that's unfortunate because I think the arc on the emotional side was really there where she has to learn sort of like what's my place going to be in the world. But I wish they could have backed that up with her learning how to use like figuring out how to use the lasso for the first time, figuring out how to like the sword play. I guess that makes sense. But like her powering up in a way that feels like she's actually like it's gratifying and validating for us to see, as opposed to just being like, I guess I can jump high now. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, cool.
I'm always the guy talking about the score, like for the music and stuff for these movies. I think this movie score is fantastic, and I love that they took the theme from Batman v Superman. They're like, we're gonna tone it down a bit. It's gonna come in when it needs to, but I think that they did the power thing really well with the music. Where throughout the movie, it goes from like being real subtle and in the background in this first fight scene to every single time they add more and more elements till by the end it does make her feel more powerful. But it doesn't. It's not backed up by storyline.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, it's a similar, I guess, a similar complaint that I would have with Man of Steel, where like they kind of have a similar line in this, where they're like, well, she's not going to know how powerful she gets until she gets out there and tries, and that's the same thing we had in Man of Steel, where he's like, you won't know how powerful you are until you get out there and try, and it's like, okay, but then we have to define this to some degree, right? We have to have some level of boundary and constraint on this power for it to mean something. Like Captain America isn't all powerful. He gets his ass handed to him sometimes. That's cool. That makes sense because then he has to outthink or figure out, whatever story elements we introduce in the first two acts. Those are then going to go to backing up him beating the villain. In this, we just get her being like this. I guess I can jump high now. Okay, I guess I can do this thing. Like it's not really explained as to how she's.
Yeah, there's
utilizing
never.
powers.
I could have gone for a scene in this movie with Chris Pine where she explains what she can do and knows what she can do. Like, wait, can't you do this? Can't you do that?
So with that,
because
Greg-
even in here, right, she gets shot or grazed on the beach and cut, and then when the Amazon takes it off to redress the wound and it's not there, there's literally like,
But so do you heal fast?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then when she goes out in the thing, there's like this moment of like, wait, can the bullets kill her when she's in no man's land? Or is it? And then you're like, okay, I guess they could. But then she jumps through the building and crumbles it around her without any concern
ramifications
for getting
whatsoever.
cut. Or
Yeah,
anything.
it seems so. The Amazons get hit with a bolt; they're done.
They're dead.
Right.
Well, remember, and again here they go not out of their way, but they do explain enough. I feel of like you're not an Amazon.
Yeah,
like
you
you're
are
not a real Amazon.
the
like,
weapon
you're
or whatever.
Well, yeah. They don't say that to her, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I buy that and that's cool, but it's just like it just seems weird then that her outfit is as skimpy as it is, and there is as much skin exposed, and she gets cut sometimes, but not others. Like that, I was gonna ask you, like, what in the comics and stuff, like Wonder Woman, can she get hit with a bullet?
It was a real
Yeah.
sharp.
Well, I mean,
bullet.
again, it's the whole thing of like, which version are we looking
Yeah.
at? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I mean, you've definitely had things where Wonder Woman was bulletproof or whatever.
Cool.
And she uses the bracelets more to deflect for other people. You
Got
know what
it.
I mean? Like she does with the Chris Pine scene coming up later or whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, like again, it's a nebulous thing, and I know there's definitely times where no, she is vulnerable to bullets. But so that's my thing is it's a sliding scale on what abilities Wonder Woman has, right? So I mean, Wonder Woman can fly on her own without the invisible jet. So like, can Gal fly? No. Okay, she can hop real high. Okay, with an assist
can Hulk high.
sometimes.
Yeah.
She jumps off the Louvre to where? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's enough little things of like I could go for just a synopsis conversation, really explaining a little bit of like, oh, I can leap over tall buildings in a single bound. You know what I mean? Like shit like that would have been
Yeah, a little bit of exposition as well as to what the Amazonians were capable of could have gone a long way. I don't think we necessarily needed it, but you're right. Like, yes, they get shot by bullets, but are they immortal? Because they've been living on this island forever, and there's no children on this island, right? We've established that there's no reproductive stuff happening because they make a big point of saying you're the only child on this island, and you came from this godlike thing. So like, do these women then sit on this island forever? They just live forever and they're always jacked out and like 27.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
How do I get that?
I think
job?
that is the take. Yeah. Like,
So then why does a bullet hurt them? There's just shit like that where you're like, this is
well,
weird.
again, their creation.
You might not pick up on it.
Greek
but,
gods suck
like,
because they're always like,
subconsciously.
hey, you got this one Achilles heel. Like, there's always some bullshit that happened. Like, oh, I dipped you this way. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah, this
If
way.
I throw
First
nacho
off,
cheese on you, like
Shout
you're
out to
weak.
Brad Pitt and Troy. You know what I'm talking about?
never watched it. No,
Fucking
don't know
great.
anything about it.
So good.
Okay, yeah. And Robin Wright Penny gets the wind knocked out of her.
And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And Robin's like, "What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, like, no,
I'm
this is not what I
fine."
trained you for, you dumb idiot. And she's like, no. And she runs away. And she runs over the cliffside. She's like, oh, I have to rethink my, what the fuck is that? And it's a fucking plane crashing. And she crashes. And she's like, what is that? And she's like, I gotta go. Boom, dives in the water off the thing. Swims really quick over there. Chris Pine's in there, and he's got his little seatbelt on. He can't get it off because it's wrapped around the joystick or whatever. And he's sinking. He's like, oh no, I'm gonna whoa. And he looks up, and she's up there. He's like, whoa. And then she jumps down there, and she comes down there, and she immediately just goes,
nailing these sound
Remember
effects.
you went
rips
back
the
to it.
fucking. That's how they shot it, man.
Did you do mocap for like Super Mario World drowning scenes?
I mean, I like this scene, by the way, because there's a moment where he's sinking and he has to take he goes, oh shit, and he has to take just a really deep breath. And I think Chris Pine nailed that.
Nailed it.
I will say though that his version of drowning, like movie drowning, is always very, very chill. You just kind of like pass out, you know.
Yeah.
But like, it should be way more violent.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it should be
Go
horrifying.
watch The Abyss when Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio drowns, and you're just like, it's the most terrifying thing. And also you're like, why would you not have started swimming earlier? Why would you sit here and watch her drown and then start swimming?
Good movie,
I
yeah.
digress. Great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Gal, Wonder Woman, she rips the thing, joystick out. She grabs him. She brings him up. She swims him to shore. But as this is happening, right, like over, like we're like, where did he come
fog.
from? Out there, we're in this deep fog, and there's all these bad guys over there. Germans, right?
Yeah, they were
as
Germans.
well, right?
Is the Third Reich the German? Is that what they called the Germans in World War One?
I thought that was World War II.
Is that World War Two? Okay, so they weren't.
So they're out there though, and they're in this deep fog. Like, can't see anything. This fucking fog. This sucks. And there's guys out in little canoes in the front. Like, it's foggy all of a sudden, guys. This is weird. I don't know where that guy went. And eventually, you get the scene of the guy's hand going through, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa."
Let's go in.
And so then they go through, and it's beautiful and it's pretty in here.
I would have been like, get the fuck, let's go, like, leave. We got to get out of here. Like, I don't
why
know
you
what
wouldn't
this.
make it in World
I don't
War
know
I,
what
man.
this wall is. You know.
But they
Horrifying.
breach the wall, and they're like, wow, fucking paradise. We're going to kill this one plane guy we're chasing. And so Chris Pine wakes up, and he's like, oh, man, what's going on? And she's like, you're a man. And he's like, yeah, I think so. Wait, where are the bad guys? She's like, oh, no, there's the bad guys. And like, what are we going to do? And then Queen Polygon shows up, and she's just like, what the fuck? There's a man here. What's going on? And then it's like, there's no time for that shit because now the Germans, and they're shooting shit, and Chris Pine and her go and hide. And then that's when the Queen shows up or whatever. And like, oh, fuck, people are shooting us and shit. Like, we got to, and like all the Amazons like,
Dude, I'm gonna tell you where they're at now.
I thought he was drowning again.
You're a German soldier that's probably been out on the sea for
Big
what?
shoulder, yeah.
Soldier. Excuse me. You've been out on the high seas for
Yeah.
a long time, tracking people down, right?
You got
You
scurvy.
don't know what's going on. You just broke through this weird bubble where all of a sudden
Fog of
everything's
war.
paradise, and you look up and you see 30 of the best looking women you've ever seen in your life jump off a cliff and shoot an arrow and then swing down to you. I would shit my pants, get back on the boat, and
We
just get
out.
the fuck back out of
You've
there.
lost
I am
all
not
touch of
fighting these
reality.
people.
Like, you don't
I'm
know
not-
what's real.
I don't know what's happening here. The fucking, we shouldn't have eaten the plantains.
I'm just saying that's why you would never make it as a German soldier in World War One
Oh,
because these
Christ,
guys are like,
no.
it's fucking go time, right?
wartime.
They've got sticks and stones, we got bullets, we got this. And so they invade the beach. The shooting's all happening. People are swinging in. It's fucking dope. A lot of cool fight scenes are happening. And this is one of the archers swings in, right, and the bullet gets fired from the German, and it goes right between Gal and Chris Pine. And Gal watches it go.
Yeah.
And so does Chris
Which
Pine
I
to an
think-
extent. You're like, how slow is this bullet
Well,
going?
Chris Pine's super speed. Well, you have to. I like this though because she doesn't know what it is.
Sure,
She's
oh,
never
yeah.
seen a bullet before. She's like, well, that's weird. And then it punctures her
Yeah, it
friend's
hits her
spleen.
friend back there.
And the
She's
tracking of it
no.
is like, when's it actually going to hit her? Oh, it hit her like really
Yeah.
fast. I couldn't tell like when the thing was going to match up with
She
the
just
body.
goes dead on the road.
CG.
Right.
I wanna
and that's
call-
when you know the stakes are high.
I want to just quickly take a pause and give Andy's costume a shout out because he's got one lace that's just thicker and like longer than the other ones.
Where, which
Stop
one?
pulling it.
I'm not pulling this.
Why is it so dumb?
I don't even know how this works. This suit is not engineered to like be actual laces. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
true.
I think it's just all fake.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really annoying now.
Stop pulling it.
So big old beach battle. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's doing cool shit. This is when we get the shield thing and we see that this is a classic Amazon move.
When
or
she
whatever.
jumps over and shoots 3 arrows at once.
Dope.
So fucking
Robin Wright
cool.
Penn fucking owning the scene.
I like
out
the
there,
scene a
being
lot.
Badass, yeah.
I like seeing them, and it's, to me like one of the hardest things to do, and it falls short more often than not. But is to have people who aren't fighting with guns fight people who have guns and make that somewhat believable
And do it in brightness.
Do it in brightness,
Like
yeah.
that's the most impressive thing about this is that it's clear. Everything that's happening is
Clear
clear
as day.
You see what's happening.
And I think they do a pretty good job of that for the most part. Granted, you're using weapons that are probably single fire, so you have a little bit more leeway there. You're not using like AR-15s, which I always thought was hilarious. And like when you watch The Dark Knight, we're like, why the fuck aren't they just emptying a clip into this guy? But I like this a lot. I think it's cool, and I think the choreography is great.
Eventually, yeah, everything's going swimmingly for the Amazons. They're fucking really wrecking shop over there. But Wonder Woman turns her back on a German dude, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this woman. And he goes to do it, and Robin Wright Penn's like, no! And she runs in there, and she takes the bullet. She falls down, like, and they kill that German right away. And then Wonder Woman's over there, Robin Wright Penn. She's like, God, killer, go. And she's like, where? Where's the God Killer? What's the God Killer? Go, you. And she's dead. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Great day.
I gotta go.
I love it.
Yeah,
You're doing great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks,
Well,
man.
I'm just letting you guys know. You know what I mean? I'm inspired right now. If anybody wants to recreate Wonder Woman in dreams, I'll give you all the VO.
Audio listeners, Andy's trying to fix his outfit, and
Making
it's
it
making it
way
way
worse.
worse. You're just taking the whole thing out. I don't know. Now it's a corset.
And so they've killed all the Germans. Yeah, Robin Wright Penn's dead. And then Chris Pine has a gun. And it's just like one of these, whoa, this is bad, right? And then they all look at Chris Pine like, fucking kill him. And Diana's like, no, he fought alongside me. He's not a bad guy. He's not our enemy, right? Very much like Man of Steel. Illusions? We'll find out one day. Release the Jenkins cut.
But then again, they're like, you know, who are you? Why are you here? And, he's
And
like,
then it goes into this.
Can't
All right,
tell
fine.
you.
Who are you? Can't tell you. Why are you here? Can't tell you. And they're like, well, we got ways of making you talk. Death by snoo snoo. But no, it's not. Instead, they take him to the
Glory road.
fucking chamber.
God.
They take him to the chamber, right? And he fucking gets wrapped up in the lasso of truth. And he's like, what is this thing? And they explain the Greek name for it. I don't know. Lasso of truth. Porygon's up there talking about it. And so then they start asking him, and he's a spy. Again, I think it's really well done. Him trying to fight. He knows he can't talk. But of his right mind. But he is getting.
I think the
forced
scenes
into
lasted a
lasso.
little too long.
Yeah, agreed.
Like him doing the fighting. I enjoyed the effect of it. I just didn't like. I don't know. I would have cut it down like maybe by a couple seconds.
When
or
you
so.
got Chris Pine, you let him go.
Yeah.
You put down some celluloid for Chris Pine. You know what I mean?
You do. So yeah, he's like, listen, here was the mission, ladies and gentlemen, or ladies. No gentlemen, just
No
me.
gentlemen.
I am a spy. I was over there on WW1, right? The war to end all wars. And there's this Dr. Poison lady, right? And she's got a whole bunch of fucked up shit over there. That
She's got a lot of baggage. like this woman.
Yeah,
is.
right. She's got a messed up face. She got a bunch of poison, and she's working for the guy who I always think looks like Anthony Bourdain, right?
Yeah,
One day they're
yeah.
gonna cast it.
Oh, yeah.
If they get on an Anthony Bourdain biopic, knock off Bourdain here as your first guy.
That guy always plays a good
Ludendorff
vampire.
is his name. Ludendorff.
Oh yeah, and he was
He's
from
always a
Secession too.
vampire
He was
in
in
something,
Secession.
He
yeah.
seems like, was he in by any chance the movie about the nuclear bomb going off in HBO?
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl? Was he in
That was a
Chernobyl? by any
plant.
chance?
No, I don't think he was.
Oh yeah, plant. Yeah. Sorry.
So
The
this
leak.
dude though, Ludendorff, he was a general in the German army during World War I. So he's a real dude.
Oh, nice.
However, he met a very different fate than in the movie,
He didn't do this weird crack cocaine that gave him superpowers.
as he resigned and fled to Sweden after a failed offensive.
Huh?
The more you know.
What a
Yeah.
quitter, bro.
What a weird element to introduce in the movie as well.
Yeah.
That weird like crack.
We'll get there in a second.
Like,
So
why?
anyways,
shouldn't that have been the? I'd have been like, holy shit, the super drug.
Why don't we give this
Fuck
to
the
all our
gas?
guys? Yeah,
Why,
yeah.
Fuck the gas. Just give this to all our
And they
soldiers.
only did it to have the twist reveal of the other guy being the bad guy.
Oh, I
right?
totally understand why they did it, but it's totally like
Doesn't work.
It's just a weird element to put in there. Like you think that was something they would focus a little bit
Yeah,
more
I
on.
thought it was gonna be
I was
the-
Ludendorff. I'd be like, check out this cocaine, this super cocaine that I have.
I saw it as their I compared it to Captain America with the fucking blue goddamn what's that thing in the Captain
Tesseract.
America? How everybody's getting like the blue powers, like
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be sort of that's what we have to stop.
Well, but my thing
really
is like,
hot in here.
yeah, exactly.
Do you want this?
Turn the fan.
I'd agree with you. Well, you're really working hard on this costume. You nailed it. It's perfect.
Anyway, so we're there. Chris Pine's been undercover there as a spy. He's been watching. He wanted to get the doctor's notebook while the doctor was showcasing her new crazy stuff.
And he's got balls too.
Yeah,
'cause he
walks
just
in
slid
there.
right the
He
fuck
just
in
whoop,
there.
grabs it, and then he turns around and walks away. And the doc notices her notebook's gone. She's like, clearly it's that guy. And he's like, whatever.
This is
So
one of
he-
the. This is
she's
one of
so
those.
freaky.
This is
Yeah.
one of those times though that I wish I'm like, okay, so we spent a lot of time on this island. It would have been actually cool to see that scene play out, not in a flashback. I wonder if they thought about doing that, where it's like, let's
real
actually
time.
show Chris Pine's character and
planes
develop,
of action.
Yeah, develop him a little bit more, and then show like as he takes off. He
That would have
busts
been cool
through
if
the thing.
you end with Queen Porygon being like, hey, trainer. And like, all right, it's go time. And then we jump to Chris Pine.
Yeah, we
Like,
go
where are
back.
we in the timeline? And then
we
we
don't
go
know.
back and it's Diana
Yeah.
going to the cliff and then it's him coming
I
back.
watched that movie.
I know why they didn't do it. I mean, thinking through it now, it was kind of a cool reveal to not know when they were and then see a World War I plane come through.
Mm-hmm.
That I get that, but him telling the story, I was like, this is a cool scene. Like I would have liked to have seen.
So yeah, he gets in
a
a,
little more
he
of
runs
this.
and hijacks a plane and he starts taking off and then like the badass he is, right, turns
Goes
around.
back, turns back and lights that shit up. Dude, drops a bomb.
The shot of him
Yeah,
going
yeah.
and just literally dropping a bomb. It's like, holy fuck.
I
That
love
was sick.
when the plane crashed. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but there was a row of bombs next to him, which I thought was like, it's just terrifying that that's how they used to have to bomb people in World War I. Was actually physically take the bomb out, take the fucking thing off, and just drop it.
Crazy
so
shit.
scary.
Dr. Poison, super dope. I feel like I wish there was more focus. Like, get rid of Ludendorff entirely and like focus more on this Dr.
Yeah,
Poison.
she's definitely one of those characters you forget about.
Yeah.
I think when we come back to her in the banquet, she's looking at the fire like, oh yeah,
Oh
fuck,
yeah,
Dr. Poison.
you're
Dr.
here, and it
Poison's
sucks because like she has all the elements to like be an interesting bad guy.
She's such a cool like BioShock villain.
Yeah.
Like I just love her vibe, the way she talks. She's just pure evil, right? Like there's not a gleam of hope left in her.
Well, I mean, there is a moment later where the two of them get together and like, and they just lock a bunch of German generals in and fucking
I hated that
gas
scene.
them.
Yeah.
But
I love that
enjoy it.
scene.
the gas mask going worse. I know.
I know. Let's go. You want some ice cream? Yeah, we got ice cream.
It was so weird. That's exactly how it went.
so weird.
So yeah, now we're back into the chambers here because we've caught up to the time. Well, okay, we have to decide what to do with you. You go down to the bath, and he's like, all right, cool, I'll go take a bath. And so he goes down and takes a bath, and like the water's all weird, and he moves his toe through it or whatever. And so he gets up, and he's just stark fucking naked. And then Wonder Woman walks in.
The balls
weird.
on this
A
guy.
little weird.
Yeah,
This
it's
is an
just
odd
like,
scene where he's like, I'm just gonna
I'm just
full blown
I'm gonna
be naked. Now,
Just give it
granted,
a little jiggle, you know.
if I looked like Chris Pine with my shirt off, I would be naked right now. I would
Yeah.
not give a fuck.
But it's, I mean, dude,
But it's a little bit
it's
weird to do to a
2017.
woman that you
expect-
just saw.
I expected him to just like
just get that thing going, and just take off.
helicopter it.
But
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like he just gets up and kind of has a moment of humility,
oh,
of hubris,
but he's like,
and then he goes,
"Oh, you're cool
or
with it?"
humility, and then he goes, "Okay, well, I'll just stand here."
It's
and then,
really bizarre. You
But
don't
the
act
whole
like
thing
that.
was so that she can make the dick joke, where she's
Yeah.
like, "What is that?" And he goes, "Oh, that
no,
is,
it's a watch. Oh, it's a
Oh,
watch.
but the watch. You're not talking about my cock.
watch.
It's a watch. Yeah, it's to tell time. And she's like, we don't have a
Exactly.
concept of time here. And it's like, really? You
You never
never looked at the day-night
you
cycle
let that
and thought,
little thing tell you what to do.
yeah.
It's,
He's like,
it's weird.
funny.
I
It's
do
weird
let that
because
little thing
like
tell me
I
what
feel
to
like
do.
this is one of those
how I
moments
got
that they
married.
didn't do a good job of like sticking with the narrative of what they're going. Like she should have been talking about his dick, not the watch. Like it should have been like, I don't know what a man is. You know, they kind of like
She doesn't know what a man is.
They always play it. Well, but I mean, like I've never seen a man.
Sure.
Like I have questions here. You know what I mean? All I know about is this Clay bullshit, right? It's like no, I want to know some details about this thing, but instead it's always played for jokes every single time. It's like it's weird.
It's a little weird. And we get that
It's
later.
a weird
where-
scene. I thought it worked better the second time around. I remember in the theater coming out of it like, oh, it's fucking stupid and forced. But at this point, I think I liked their chemistry already. But I was just happy to see them interacting.
I do, but I just felt like I don't know anyone who. I mean, granted, sure, I'm not a spy with the fucking guts this guy has, but like on some level, if you're sitting in water naked and a woman walks in, like you probably just stay in the water.
Well, he was already out of
Or
the water. He was
someone-
already out.
When you get back in the fucking water, you know
Like,
what I mean? Like you just go,
I
we've
go
seen
the
it.
opposite.
and go butt naked.
I read it. I understand that it's totally weird. Don't get me wrong.
It's a
But it
weird
was
scene.
this moment I thought of.
Because he literally goes like this.
Yeah, it was the juxtaposition
wanna
of their
see the
cultures.
dick?
I think where it was the idea that she doesn't care. Nudity isn't a thing to the Amazons, and I thought that was the read.
That's a big jump to make.
But to a man in 1917,
you still don't know that.
you
Like,
would
yeah.
not know. Like it would have been so unbelievably uncouth for you to just show a woman your dick. to be like, oh, there it is, my dick's out. Like that was totally uncharacteristic for that particular
Yeah, I don't.
character.
And then-
not
I think
not
he
much
would've
about the Paradise Island he's just found with these immortals is about.
But that
1917.
doesn't change the fact that he's from 1915 America, where men don't do shit like that. And like she's a woman, but he doesn't know
I
what the
agree.
fuck
This
she is.
scene's weird. Don't get me wrong.
And it's not like he goes, oh, there's just an island full of women. Cool, I guess I could just take
And
my
then
dick out right now and run around.
And then it's in direct conflict to I'm
Sleep
not
with
gonna lay
women,
next
yeah,
to you.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that
gonna
was
lay next to you.
very, very weird.
You were showing off that little hanger, that little dingler.
Your little fucking low hanger.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Your little water tester.
Anyways,
the
yeah, it's a
temperature.
watch. It's his dad's watch. Congratulations, everybody. It's a fucking watch.
Big
And-
watch, by
Yeah,
the way.
and there's more talk here. The war to end all wars. What are you talking about? Diana starts piecing it all together. This is Ares' work. Goes back to mom. Mom, it's the war to end all wars. If we can just do this, we can end all of it. And she's like, no, that's just a story, you moron. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we should have had a real book to teach you something. And she's like, well, no, fuck that. I'm getting him out of here. I'm doing it. So Diana, it's time to pull a heist mission or whatever and get everybody out and get their stuff. So the first thing she does is run to the armory and jump in onto the wall.
Yeah.
Fall, and then like we're talking about, right? Punch through the thing and be like, I can punch through rocks.
Right.
Which goes back to this whole thing of like Spider-Man 2, like, does she just have to believe in her powers? Like, can she now get shot and not be hurt? Who fucking knows? So she just
It's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's
looks like
cool.
it feels good, like for her to do it.
But also, like, wasn't some part of you like, who the fuck's gonna fix that?
Yeah, you're fucking up the tower for
Like
no
that's
reason.
Damn,
You live
Diana.
here.
fucking
yeah,
A,
right?
man.
Cool.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no steps to this.
She gets up there. She gets the rope. She gets the God Killer. She gets the shield. She sees on her way out the old Wonder Woman costume. Then we jump over to the bathroom. We're still locked Chris Pine in. And he's like, oh, hey, you're here. And I was looking at this compass and stuff. And she's like, yeah, get your shit. We're going. He's like, nice outfit. She's like, thank you. And so they go down. They're going to get a boat. And they
Let's
get
take a nice midnight horse ride with me. Oh, it's nighttime, so you do understand how day-night cycles work. So you understand the passage of time. Okay, we'll just.
they get down there and they're about to take off or whatever. And guess what? Here comes Queen Polygon. She's all like, yo, I can't stop you.
Queen
But-
Polygon?
Porygon.
Polygon.
like, hey.
it's Queen
Ladies
Hippopotamus.
and gentlemen, speaking of Polygon, let me tell you about our sponsors here. The Besties, baby. Andy. What's up with the Besties?
I
These
love
guys
the
founded
Besties.
Polygon.
I love the Besties. I've been listening to the Besties for a long time. It's McElroy Brothers. It's Chris Plant. It's Russ Frushtick. And they're super funny dudes, and they talk about video games.
Yeah, they do, man.
It's
We
like a
love
video
video
game
games.
book club, yeah.
Yeah. The Besties cover all the major moments in video games in 2020, from new console launches to Cyberpunk 2020 and beyond. That's not right. Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, it gets me every time.
And at the end of the year, they do complete showdown, pitting all the top games of the year against one another to get the top games of the year. It's pretty epic. Is it epic, Andy?
It's very epic.
You've been listening to this for years.
Yeah, man. I've been listening to the Besties since I was listening to like Podcast Beyond and everything, like 2013, 2014-ish. It's really, really funny because Kentucky Route Zero, which just finished, I first heard of it when they talked about it on their podcast like in 2014.
Wow.
Really, really weird. Yeah. Crazy.
You can find the Besties on Spotify, which also has your favorite podcasts, including the Besties, and including ours. Music, all for free. You can listen to the Besties free only on Spotify. You've been doing that? You've been listening to it on Spotify?
Oh, yeah. I've been listening on Spotify. I
There.
mean, it's only available there, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where I listen to all my podcasts anyway. so.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Butcher Box. It's steak night. Is any culinary occasion more delicious? No. The answer is no. I'm a big steak fan, and Butcher Box been making me happy. Also been making Kevin Coelho happy. No one's really surprised about this, but Kevin is a real big fan of this Butcher
He's
Box.
hunched over right now with his hurting back, and he's just
Thinking
butchering it up.
about that meat. You know what I mean? All meat is free of antibiotics and added hormones. Each box has 9 to 11 pounds of meat, enough for 24 individual meals. Every month, Butcher Box ships a curated selection of high-quality meat right to your house. It's a no-brainer. It's the best meat shipped right to your door, which means one less trip to the grocery store. I was going to say grocery shop.
Close.
My eyes still aren't fully back, so it's a little hard to read right now. ButcherBox is the most affordable and convenient way to get healthy, humanely raised meat. With ButcherBox, you get the highest quality meat for just around $6 a meal. You can get 2 filet mignons, a pack of bacon, plus $20 off your first box when you sign up now at butcherbox.com/morning, or use the promo code morning at checkout. That's 2 free fillets, a pack of bacon, plus $20 off your first box. Just go to butcherbox.com/morning or use the promo code morning at checkout. And finally, shout out to Upstart. Before I get to that, it'll never get old looking over Are you in an ice cream sandwich right now? No, it's
No,
a
it's a
Clif Bar.
Clif Bar.
And it's off camera in the dark. Greg Miller in a Superman costume just eating.
That's his cup, everybody. It's his cup, okay?
Shout out to Upstart. As most of us have found out the hard way, getting into debt is easy. Getting out is hard, especially if your credit score isn't great. Thankfully, now there's Upstart.com, the revolutionary lending platform that knows that you are more than just your credit score, and they offer smarter interest rates to help you pay off high-interest credit card debt. Upstart goes beyond the traditional credit score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter rate. They believe that you're more than just your credit score. They believe in you. One of my good friends going through some issues right now financially, and Upstart helped him out because they believe that he's more than his credit score. They made it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate. Since it's just a soft pull, it won't affect your credit score. The hard pull only happens if you accept the rate. The best part is once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. You can see why Upstart's ranked #1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot. And hurry to upstart.com/morning to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. That's upstart.com/morning. Back to that plot.
Let him fix it.
Let him fix it. What a show we have here. How much Clif Bar you have in your mouth?
55 fucking minutes in. We're not even off the goddamn island.
I felt like the movie too, though.
Whoa!
I enjoyed the island stuff,
Whoa!
but it was a long time.
Hey, back at the boom.
So Queen Porygon shows up and she's like, "All right, man. I know you can do it. And I know I can't stop you. So go do it. But you know you can't come back." And he's like, "It's kind of dumb, Mom. You're the queen. And she'd
Yeah, I
be,
can do
why?
whatever the
It
fuck
seems
I
like
want."
you could change these rules whenever you want to." And she's like, "I gotta go stop Aries. You're a bunch of fucking cowards." So you should stay. She's like, "What
gotta
kind of
stop those
what kind of
berries."
person would I be if I did stay?" And you're like, "Nailed her, Dinah.
Good
Fucking
point.
nailed her.
Good point.
I appreciate you, Dinah."
DP.
And that's the one thing I noticed on this viewing of the movie. Because we're doing, I'm sure, the in-review and talking about them in such a different way. This really is, on so many levels, what they wanted Superman to be, right? Where it's like, she is hope, and she is always going to do the right thing.
Yes.
Even in the face
Okay,
of it,
yes.
she knows who she is. She knows what this is about. There is a right and a wrong thing happening.
Yeah.
There's a war out there. We can help, and you don't want to. That's on you. I'm gonna go because that's what I do.
Yeah.
Knowing nothing and being naive. I really dug that naivete this time around of maybe not knowing what a watch is or whatever, but like being like, there's right and there's wrong, and we're gonna go do it.
Yeah.
And to get to the ending we've already talked about, right, where Chris is like, it's not that simple. It's not one guy, and I'm sorry I can't explain how layered this is right now. I gotta go. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
see her wrestle with that as well. Anyways, they get on their little schooner. They get off into the sea there. You've never been sailing? I've been sailing. Whatever.
Schooner is a sailboat.
You moron.
A lot of
Over
this
there,
was
that's
improv.
that's not the Easter Bunny. That's just a guy in a suit.
Was it really?
A lot of this was improv by Chris Pine.
Oh, really?
And they just kind of went with it.
It's great. Again, kind of tone deaf to his dick hanging out the second ago, but whatever. They get on the sailboat. They're going, and they start having their conversation.
That was
or whatever.
improv too. The dick hanging out. It's
Oh, okay,
improv
cool. Yeah,
too.
sure. Okay.
He was actually naked.
Good for him, you know what I mean? Tom Cruise did that to Nicole Kidman once on a set with a bowl. True story. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about?
I think they were married at that point, though.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
They weren't.
No,
Maybe that's what
they're
sealed the
falling
deal.
in love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Jason Sudeikis do that too? No, Jason, the tall guy with the big
Momoa.
dick.
Oh yeah. No. You're right. You're right.
forgetting
You're
Sarah
right.
Marshall.
You're right. Yeah, it wasn't Sarah Marshall. It was on the other show he's on.
What's his real name?
Siegel.
Jason
Jason
Segel.
It was
Jason
no, I
Segel.
was forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Well, yes.
Busted the dick out.
Well, yeah, but that's in
Oh,
the
he
movie.
showed his dick.
No,
in
but
the
I thought
movie.
I
Yeah.
thought that like
He likes
in-
showing his dick.
in the in the script it was supposed to be that he was supposed to be covered up,
Oh,
and they
I don't
didn't
know that
know
part.
he's gonna be
That's Jason Segel. He can do what he wants.
No.
big wiener.
Big old hog. Anyway, so they're sitting next to each other.
Thank
and she
you.
goes like this. I'm like, I
what are
made
you
a-
doing? I'm making you a bed or whatever. Oh, where are you gonna sleep? Over here. Why don't you sleep with me? I don't sleep with him. It's a marriage thing. What's marriage? And they explain marriage and they explain.
I like that.
Sex.
I like the back and forth. Where she's like, what's marriage? And he's like, well, when two people like, I don't know, like each other, they dedicate each other.
judge.
You
and
go in
they
front of a judge, yeah.
You go in front of a judge, and then you spend the rest of your life together. She goes, how does that work out? He goes, I have no idea. I haven't got to that point in my life yet.
I was like, he literally says, make babies.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, you want to fuck. And I
Well,
appreciate
I
that.
want to see it.
So,
So bad.
yeah, this is one of those, like, this scene had a lot of great things in it and a lot of weird things in
Yeah.
it. Right? Where she goes, well, I know, like, he's like, well, we make babies. And she goes, well, I know how reproductive
Physiology
reproduction
works.
works.
I read all
works.
14 chapters,
Volumes
right?
or whatever
Yeah.
that-
So I've
thing.
read books about this stuff. That's cool.
What were the
There's-
findings though? That men are needed for procreation but not for pleasure. They're obsolete for pleasure.
And he's like, I've heard it both ways. There's another line in here where she says something about who she is, and he goes, well, that's neat. And I like that line.
Oh, that was the molded out of clay.
Yeah, she's like a molded out of
this
clay
is-
made by Zeus or whatever. And he goes,
No, she doesn't know that. Yeah, my mother molded me out of clay. He's like, well, that's neat.
yeah, yeah, that was good. I thought that was a good
great,
delivery.
Yeah, I thought, again, there are weird beats here, but overall, I like this. And again, I like their chemistry
It's
together.
cute. It's
Yeah.
charming. Yeah, it's
And
fun.
then on this sailboat, it takes them 6 months to sail from the island of Themyscira to London. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
They do that in overnight.
Oh,
They did
my
it overnight.
apologies, everybody. I forgot Nick knew exactly where Themyscira was.
Apparently, it's right off the
Get
coast of
roasted.
London.
Exactly. Where would you be looking? You're going to be out in the fucking Caribbean circling shit. You're not thinking it's right there.
Right. And every island around London, weirdly tropical for some reason. Weird.
Yep, you're right, though. They roll right in. Diana wakes up. Where this is London. It's hideous.
London,
yeah, it's
baby.
not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
So good. And Lucy James quite offended when this happens in the movie.
She deserves it.
Oh,
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
beautiful. Well, it's pretty now, but back then it was
Oh
a
no,
shithole.
yeah, exactly. And so yeah, they get there, they roll their little boat up to the dock, they get off, and like here we
Why
are.
do we insult everyone for no reason?
That's what we do on the
It's
show.
so impossibly gray. London.
It is.
Yeah.
Both in real life and
So
in movies.
desaturated,
It's
yeah.
better now.
Still
They don't have
gray.
all the smokestacks and shit going into the air like they used to. Coal, not a huge energy source in London now.
So we get off, and it's time to get
back then.
Diana to the front lines. She said that she would come if he would take her to the war. He's going to take her to the war, and then he's like, "But I got to drop off this book." And she's like, "Nope, no." And she keeps trying to like come out in her like crazy outfit. And he's
I
like,
love
"No,
this.
you can't
This-
do that.
This is all
can't
really
do that. You
cute
can't." Yeah,
and
exactly.
really fun. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then eventually we run into the secretary, who's the woman from Shaun of the Dead, the secondary woman in the Shaun of the Dead, not the main, the girlfriend, the secondary
It
girlfriend.
is. You're right. Holy shit.
I
Love it.
like this character a lot, and I was like, when I first watched this, I was like, oh, cool, she's going to be in this movie a lot, and they
Yeah.
just totally cut her out of everything.
I like her a lot. It just feels like she's in a different movie than this movie.
Yeah.
Every time she's in, it's just like she's way too fun for this. Like she seems like she's going to be great in 1984. Except that's probably not going to happen.
You know what's funny is she kind of feels like she's in a movie that's parodying Wonder Woman, or like she feels like she's in a Shaun of the Dead style movie, not a like action film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It feels like she's watching the movie with us.
Yeah. She's
I like
just
I
a
like her
Londoner.
though.
Diana.
Oh, I like her a lot too. I like her lines too.
Shaun of
It-
the Dead, she's called
It's
Diana.
one of those things you can tell that people liked him so much they put all of her lines in the original trailer.
Yeah, right.
So when you got to the part,
I'm
where she's
not
like,
afraid to engage
a
some
little
fisticuffs.
fisticuffs, you're like, oh, that was a really good line. And
Yeah, wish
so
that was
everything
in
she
it.
says, you've seen like 5 times already in the trailer.
Exactly. But yeah, that's the idea. All right, cool. It's her secretary. Sounds like slavery. Haha. I like her. They go off to shop for some clothes. We get a whole scene of them looking around for clothes for
We
a
get
while.
a great line delivery and it's a great little homage where he goes, she walks out and she's wearing like that cool kind of like business casual outfit. And he's like, you're supposed to blend in here. And he gives her the monocles, like the
glasses.
glasses. And when they put them on, she has that great line where she's like, oh, right, because a pair of spectacles is going to make her not look like the most beautiful woman in the
world.
planet.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
It's a great line, and it's a great. This is where the homage to Superman the movie
course.
begins, obviously, of getting her into the big old Clark Kent like glasses, having her in that business suit, similar to Christopher Reeve's Superman suit. Clark
Stop
Kent suit, I
the
should
bullet.
say. Yeah, exactly. And so we
Yep.
go down the street.
I
We
didn't
start.
catch that.
We
That's
start
fine.
noticing. It's like it's awesome. If you let me get there, we walk down the street.
Fucking get there
waiting.
already.
Well, no, you wanted to fucking ruin it like you do everything else, huh? You want to make fun of my broccoli some more?
Yeah, I do. Can I do that now?
Yeah, sure. They walk down. They start noticing there's like people looking. Oh, he also gave the secretary the shield and the sword. She walked away, and then she was like,
I do like
people
when
are
she tries to
looking-
walk out with it and like, no, okay, you know what? We're going to take these away
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah, yeah.
She'll handle them.
Protect it with your life. Promise to protect it with your life. Yes, no. I know. Wait, yeah, that's not a regular request. So they duck down an alleyway. We're being followed. Something's happening. And yeah, the gun comes out from beside the brick wall in the alleyway, which is shot for shot for
That's
how
so fucking
Lois and Clark
cool.
got held up as well.
That's really
And so,
cool.
yeah, if you remember in Superman the movie when this happens, yeah, Lois and Clark get held up at gunpoint. The gun goes off and Chris moves at super speed, grabs the bullet. And Christopher Reeve grabs the bullet and then he collapses like he fainted. Eventually pops up, catches his own bullet and walks away knowing he did a great thing.
And they have that moment too where she
Yeah, well,
catches it.
exactly. This time around, they go to shoot. Yeah, and she puts out her bracelet. It hits him. He grabs it. That's hot. And then
That was cool.
she goes off and starts beating the shit out of all these fucking other.
Yeah, there's a
German
moment,
spies.
and I like this because I feel like for someone who is kind of like the sidekick to Wonder Woman, I think they give him just enough to do, and he has a different level of expertise that I think throughout the movie are like, okay, this is kind of cool. They're playing off each other.
They're
But
partners,
this-
right, yeah.
But this one scene is really cool because they kind of break with that a little bit, where he goes, hold on, I'll take care. And then she steps in and fucking
Maybe I won't.
murks everyone.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
And then punches the last guy, and then he has that moment where he doesn't want to do it. He kind of like, he does that.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. And so, at this point, the secretary woman came back. She knew something was afoul. She stuck with him. Here we are. Okay, cool. Then from here, we go to the meetings of the generals here. Chris Pine goes in there, and they're in the middle of a speech. Sir Patrick, who will become Ares, as we already know, is up there delivering his thing about the peace accords. This is what we need to do. We need to get them in this armistice.
We're very close.
Sokovia.
Exactly. No one's really listening, and then they start noticing Diana's in the room. Of course, why is there a woman in this? Why is there a woman in this
Wonder
world?
Woman in this building?
I'm wondering.
And so Chris Pine gets her out of the room. Chris Pine's general or whoever comes out and is like, listen here, you motherfucker, you can't bring a woman. He's like, I need to tell you about this book, though. I have Dr. Poison's book. We can fucking stop everything. And like, I don't want to hear it. You fucking brought a woman in, you idiot, and blah, blah. And then Sir Patrick comes over and he's like, oh, what's going on, my boy? And he's all like, hello, you're so beautiful. You know what I mean? And he's like, very nice. You already like Sir Patrick, right? We got the book. Oh my God, the book. This is amazing. There's so much stuff in here. And they start looking through. They go to another room and they're looking through and like, oh man, nobody can figure out these languages. And Diana's like, it's what, Samaria and something else.
Ottoman or
Ottoman and
Sumerian.
Surely one of you knew that, and they throw her out of the room again. Like, get out of here. No one's gonna make us look dumb or whatever.
I thought they
didn't
this
yet.
time.
They didn't
This time
yet.
they're like, well, maybe if she can read these languages, maybe we should listen to what she has to say.
Yeah, but it was just that one guy.
Very quick turnaround of him being like, get her out of here. I don't want her in here. But sir, what if she can help? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you make a good point. Let's keep her. in
And so
here.
they start having this conversation in front of her, and, and Chris Pine's like, we gotta go. We gotta take it to the fight to them. We gotta go blow up their other weapons facility.
It is odd to think, though. Think about this in the reality of like real life. You walk into a fucking meeting with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and you bring a random person they've never met before, and you're like, this person can read all this stuff, and the president's like, all right, let's keep her. Let's keep her in here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Although our president might actually do that.
So there's more bickering about, oh, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. What are you talking about? Yada, yada, yada. And Diana's getting madder and madder and madder. And then the general's just like, yeah, like, fuck that. Like, whatever. Thousands of people are going to die if we don't go. And he's like, that's what soldiers do. And Diana's heard enough. And she gets in their face and yells at them and stuff. And is like, where I come from, the generals fight alongside the soldiers and die in the trenches with them. You guys are a bunch of fucking cowards in a room. Another great fucking Wonder Woman moment, I think, of like really crushing what this is or whatever. And Chris Pine's like, no, we gotta listen to him, and she's like, fuck you. And so she leaves, and then he leaves to talk to her, and she's yelling at him like, well, if you're fucking, he's like, I'm lying. That's what I do.
Like, we're gonna go. We're definitely gonna go.
Yeah.
And then he has that moment, that great moment where she's like, how can I trust you? And he grabs her lasso and like, rips her around.
Exactly.
He goes, I was lying to them. We're gonna go out there. We're probably gonna die. This is a terrible idea. And he takes it. I was like, God damn, this stupid thing.
So good. At this point, why not? We'll jump back over to Anthony Bourdain and Dr. Poison, and they're still in there. And Dr. Poison's like, I got nothing. I can't remember any of this. Why did I write it in 2 different languages? That was stupid. I should have written it in one so I could remember
it. It's German.
And Bourdain's like, listen, I believe in you. You got this. You don't need a book. It's all up here, Doc. Hey, Doc, anybody home? What's up, Doc? And she's like, no, I'm fucked, but I did make these little capsules that make everybody a super soldier. And he's like, that's... Oh, yeah!
Let's go to the discoteca!
It happens so out of nowhere.
I know, right?
Like,
it's such
so
a weirdly unsupported thing to introduce.
It's just, oh, by the way, here's this thing, But I love the effect. There's like cheekbones. Kind of like the forehead turns really white.
But it's one of those things where you can tell that someone maybe around the writing, when they were writing the script, was like, what if this was the MacGuffin? What if this was the thing? And then all of a sudden we made a bunch of these super soldiers that for like 15 minutes could then fight this goddess, and it would be a dope ass fight. And then someone else is like, we don't have the budget for that. Or let's just make a little bit better mustard gas. How about that? Okay, cool.
And that's what happens, of course, while the doc's doing, or no, I'm sorry, while Bourdain's doing drugs, a piece of paper rolls over to the doc, and you hear the whisper on the wind of Ares. And she opens up, she's like, oh, fuck, it's this. There you go, inspiration. Ha-ha. I remember how to do this now. I want to make some bad mustard gas. Ha-ha.
Hey, listen, I understand that the big weapon, there's always got to be a big fucking world-ending weapon in this stuff, but this one just seems so weird. Where I'm like, mustard gas is terrifying to begin with. Like, it's definitely suffocating. If you drop that over London, there's not enough gas masks. It would fucking wipe out pretty much all of London. Maybe you'd have like 1,000 people that were like, fuck, I got my gas mask. So the fact that it can go through a gas mask, doesn't seem that it's that much more important that it would be a war tide changing thing. You know what I mean? Versus, hey, if I crack this into your nose, you can beat a fucking god in a fist fight. That seems like a little bit cooler of a thing to maybe explore, especially and she came up with that on her own, which was weird. But anyway,
So that's now that plan's in motion.
That is weird.
you know what I mean? Like that was one she figured out, but the other one she needed Ares to tell her how to make like slightly better thing that they've been using all throughout the war already, which is like, I don't know, you know what I mean?
So
It was just a little side project. She had time. She had free time.
I guess, but she was like, yeah, this one's made out of hydrogen, and I'm like, all this is
sulfur,
dumb. Crack. Get like what this movie needed was like 20 super soldiers that they like cracked these into, and they fucked up the entire front line. And then you're like, oh my god, there's a roving band of these 20 fucking German fucking guys who are just fucking up all the American troops.
They are
just-
rolling through Europe and
They're
Asia.
just fucking everything up.
They're in the Pacific Ocean now. They're coming.
cut it is like the water's muffled or the music's muffled as they walk along the bottom of the ocean.
Because it's also one of those things that, like, if you know anything necessarily, I mean, I don't know that they would have had this bomber necessarily. I don't think they had giant planes like that in World War II, but like
That's why it looks so dope.
that thing would have
Yeah,
been.
it looks sick.
I don't think they had a radar back then either, but I don't think it's that. When he gets in the thing, it's like I don't know that it would have been that big of a leap for a plane to shoot this thing down, and that's why it doesn't feel that great. At the end where he's like, I'm gonna get in this thing and blow it up with the sky. Why don't you just wait until you're over the ocean and just jump into the fucking ocean? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's
Yo,
weird
Captain
stuff going
America
on.
problems. So yeah, now it's like we're gonna do this, but first we need a team, and so now
And then someone goes, "Why?"
I said that last night.
Yeah. Why?
we go to a bar, and there's Sammy trying to fleece some guys out of some stuff. Sammy could talk the ears off a cat or whatever the fuck they say. You know what I mean? He's got whatever. He's
Cat doesn't
he's
have
So
ears.
water
a
to
good
the
talker.
sea.
Yeah, exactly. And he knows a whole bunch of languages like Diana, and they go back and forth. And Jen says their French is just awful, but I have to take her word for it. So Sammy's like, oh man, okay, cool, whatever. And then it's like, all right, well now we need Charlie. Where's Charlie? And then there's this guy getting the shit kicked out of him by another guy, and Diana's like, well, at least Charlie can fight. And he's like, that's not Charlie. He's the other guy. He's the guy from.
And I want to hear no shit about this because that was awesome.
Which part? The fight?
Yeah, I like the twist of that. If it's like it's
sure.
not the guy fighting,
Yeah.
I liked it a
You should
lot.
see the other guy.
I just like that it's Spike from Train Spotting.
That's cool
God
too.
bless him.
He's also the guy from Pearl Harbor, right?
I had never watched Pearl Harbor.
What? Really?
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Pearl Harbor in review. Let's
That
go.
feels like you. I feel like you would love Pearl Harbor, Nick.
Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett or
Yeah.
whatever the hell his name was.
Hartnett. He's still his name.
Sure.
So Charlie and Sammy sit down to get the pitch from Pine. He's like, "This is what it is. We got to take her to the front of the war. Why? Because she's going to stop war. It's just what she needs to do. Anyways, while we're there, we're going to blow up all this gas too and like save the day or whatever. And like, this sounds like a great mission. Does it pay well? It doesn't pay anything. Well, this fucking sucks. We're fucking mercs. And he's like, well, blah blah. And then who shows up? Secretary and Sir Patrick. And he's all there, and it's exactly what you want from this Harry Potter guy.
You know what it
just
reminds
giving
me
the encouraging words and jolly good show, old fellow. And you're like, oh
It
yeah.
reminds me a lot. Follow me on this one. The seminal scene in
Harry
Bad
Potter.
Boys 2, where Gabrielle Union has been abducted, and Will Smith and Martin Lawrence go into the conference room, and they're just doing
Yeah.
this, and he goes, "We ride together, we die together, Bad Boys for life. One last time, and then the other
Oh,
guy.
hey, sorry, we're Delta Team.
Oh,
and
hey,
we
what's up,
just
Delta
noticed
Team?
you guys are about to do something incredibly stupid, and we want in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You fucking nailed that.
They definitely played that on purpose, just like that, so we would feel the insane connection to Sir Patrick as we felt the Delta Team. You know?
Yeah.
And so
so-
he feeds them chocolates. They all
Sir
feel better.
Patrick's like, here's a fucking envelope full of money. It'll help you out a little bit. Go out there and do it. I'm going to bring your secretary in very much like Pearl Harbor. I'm going to bring her in so she can keep me abreast of the situation, and I can kind of help out and give you the old winks and nods from inside this thing. And they're like, this is a great plan. Thanks, Sir Patrick. He's like, no problem. Cheers, and fucking up the queen's bum or whatever. You know what I mean? And
My
all
secretary, who knows absolutely fuck all about military like strategy and
that.
math.
I mean, like, she's undercover as a spy as well.
Is she?
Yep.
She a German spy?
I don't know. Who knows? Cool.
She probably knows way more than she lets on. Like a coach for the Miami Heat, you should just review the tape. Used to be the tape boy, right? Underneath you, they just pop in the VCRs, just watch tape. Now he's the coach, dude.
You got me.
It's true.
I can't argue with that logic.
So now, yeah, we're on another boat, and we're gonna go do this thing, and we're gonna get to the front lines and find all the things. We find Chief around here. We're just gonna say
at
we
some
find
point.
Chief.
It's one of those things like
No, we find Chief in the woods. Is that do
We find him in the woods.
we go? It's the
Pretty
woods.
much is
We
that.
find him in the woods before we. So we're not there. We get off the boat.
just keeps
We're
finding
walking
cars.
in. We're walking together down the ramp, and all these soldiers are coming through, and they're hurt. They're all hurt, and they got missing limbs and shit. And again, I thought it was really good, well done this time around watching it, of like Diana's realization of the horrors of war or whatever. And like, I mean, she knows horrors of war kind of from her training and teaching and stuff, but like seeing it here in reality and how fragile humans are. So then from there we progress in, and now we're just gonna fucking walk to the front lines or whatever. And so on the way there we find the chief. At this point, let's click on back. Dr. Poison and Bourdain are there, and she's like, look at this fucking shit, and she lets the gas out and it crumples a mask, and he's like, fuck, this is really powerful mustard gas.
Let's go try it on the Joint Chiefs.
And they go knock knock, and hey, we're the German Joint Chiefs, and they're like,
knock, who's there?
hey guys,
Mustard.
we have this new
gas in your
war-ending thing, so let's just not give up. And they're like, we're just gonna give up. We're gonna do the peace accords. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're just thinking about maybe ending this peacefully. And
he's like,
we'll
nah,
probably be
you guys
okay.
suck. This is not for Mother Germany.
I mean, everyone's
And
going to make us pay for everything,
yeah,
which is going to cripple our
they
entire
walk
economy.
out, and he's like, the word of the day is panic, and he pops the fucking grenade and shuts the door, and then they hold the door shut, and the train chief's like, what the fuck, man? It's yellow gas!
She's like, but they don't know that there's a gas mask. Let's get ice cream, yeah.
And so they run out, and all those guys are dead or whatever.
I would have been scared for a little bit of the gas to leak out of the door.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like they were a little too
100%.
comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, even
Yeah,
when,
it was
even
like
when Chris
cracking
Pine
windows
runs
and
up
shit.
to it, like, coming up here a little bit,
Yeah.
he gets way deeper into it than I would.
Yeah.
Again, though, back to the powers of Wonder Woman. She walks in, no problem. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we.
But he also inhales the white thing for like no real particular reason.
Because he likes it, man. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
well, I mean,
cocaine.
he's
That, once you get that
Just wanted
high,
the
you
power
can't-
trip.
Yeah,
Think
you
about
just
the
need
first
it.
time you had a hot Cheeto. Wasn't your last time?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, think about having a hot Cheeto on cocaine.
So yeah, they meet up with Chief, and they're at the campsite, and they talk for a while, and it's just like, she's like, so you're an American or soldier? And he's like, no, I'm neither. I just fucking sell people everything. And she's like, that fucking sucks. And he's like, man, it's a complicated life out here for Native American, miss. You don't understand what's happened. Well, who took your land? His people. Oh man, like, you know what I mean? She's like, man, man sucks. She's like, humans suck. You know what I mean? And she's like, man.
She's learning. Yeah.
Yeah, they say, oh man, this is rough. And then over fucking lane, face down in the dirt, is Charlie. He passed out, right? Because he's got a drinking problem. And he starts like, he's like having a nightmare, right? And Diana comes over, and she's all like, hey man, it's cool. And he pops up, he's like, get the fuck off me, woman. And he grabs the gun, and he runs off into the woods, in his underwear. And they're
runs off.
and they're like, he has bad memories. He's seen some shit, man. He's seen some shit out there. And they're like, fuck, all right, man, war is hell, you know what I say? And Wonder Woman's like, write that down. That's war is hell. And they're like, all right, cool, let's go to bed. I'll go to bed. And then they wake up, and they're going to go to the lines down. They're walking up to the lines. And
then they're at the lines.
There's a lot of shooting. Yeah, they're just there.
It's just like,
It happens
boom,
so
we're there.
fast. Yeah.
All right.
And so they walk in, everybody's like, hey, Chief's here, and a fucking most beautiful woman I've ever seen, but Chief's here. Wow, you know what I mean? We're on a fucking living nightmare. Like, right. And so they're all like, oh, man, what's going on? Cool, no, we're going to the front lines. We're taking her, cool, have yourself, whatever.
But then, meanwhile, there's like one old lady who's like,
Help me.
They fucked up our town.
Yeah, they killed the men, and the women and children are trapped in there.
They
Whatever.
ate the babies.
I'm translating.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Sorry. And Diana's like, fuck, man, I can. Again, I did like this whole thing that she knows every language, so she's able to talk to him. Like, fuck. She's like, this fucking sucks, man. I'll get it for you. Don't worry. She's like, yo, Steve, we should go over there and stop it. Like, you're an idiot. It's no man's land. No man can
You're
go
an
there.
idiot.
Man. You know what I mean? They say man 400 times or whatever. And Diana's like, all right, well, if you're gonna be a fucking cowardly bitch, you know what I mean? I'll do this. And does
The worst cut in
and like, yeah,
film
you,
history.
again, watch the guy who's like seeing it all full.
So bad.
And
Why
then she
did they
turns-
not just insert a shot of fucking Chris Pine in this and then have her turn back? God,
I mean, they should have just done a full wide
well,
shot.
first
Or
off,
just like
reveal.
her
Yeah.
turning around, bump, and just drops the thing.
Or God forbid that she just goes, I can, and then the next shot is her. You see the thing dropping. We don't need to see her put on the fucking tiara. Like,
I'll tell you what
she's
we
a
need.
superhuman.
We need the slow-mo shots of all the equipment being put on, like in Batman Forever, where we see the nipple,
And the butt.
bat nipples, we see the
Nipple,
butt,
ass,
yeah.
American Express
Dick.
card. Don't leave home
There's a
without it.
dickhead right there. Like,
Patty Jenkins had to fight for the No Man's Land scene to make the cut. Jenkins apparently had to argue with some execs for the scene to happen. She says, it's my favorite scene in the movie, and it's the most important scene in the movie. It's also the scene that made the least sense to other people going in, which is why it's a wonderful victory for me. It's interesting. Can you imagine this movie without it?
No,
It's weird.
because
No, you
this is
definitely
such a
need
great. This is such a great reveal of her power. You know what I mean? This, and again, I think it is a great. It is what we're talking about. I talked about earlier, right? Of like really being the hope of the DCEU, like they want Superman to be, but don't do. Of like, cool. It's very much Captain America, right? Like you stand like a tree. Like, what do you stand for? You stand for something and you fucking don't move for it, right? So, like, yeah, I'm going to leave everything I know on Paradise Island and come out here. I don't care if I can't come back. I'm going to be in the trenches of war, and you're all like, no, we just got to go. This isn't even the front. Nobody can do this. There's injustice happening. I'm going to fucking solve it, even if you won't help me.
The only thing that's a little bit weird to me on this scene, though, is that I think the next scene is stronger. I think the scene when they go into village and liberate the village is stronger, and I wish this had just kind of been that. Largely because you don't get a sense of how big and how long the trench warfare was in this. She only ends up really like beating 5 or 6 German soldiers. Where you're like, God, why can't I say that word? Soldiers. Which is
something about German in front of it that throws it off.
Yeah, I'll just say that.
Soldier, you can say. German, you can say.
German soldier. But like when you watch a movie like, again, going back to like a 1917 or anything that really kind of shows you what trench warfare was like, the lines are really, really long, and there's like hundreds of troops over there, and it was like if one person popped up, like 50 people would try to shoot them. In this, you get a little tiny cluster of German soldiers on the other end, and you're like, what is the... this just seems very, very like not threatening.
Like I expected her to arrive there and be like, "Wow, they really overhyped this shit." Like, I killed like 10 guys, and I was
and like I get that. I love the scene where I like her climbing the ladder, and I think that's cool, and visually I think it's really cool. But then everything that happens afterward is there's one shot, it's like an aerial shot where she's just taking all the fire from like 10 dudes. And then the other guys just kind of sneak around. And I'm like, where the fuck is the rest of the German army? Like, why is there not more? This should have been thousands of people like shooting at them, and she should have had to overcome that somehow creatively. But instead, she just takes a tiny little shield out and I guess protects her entire upper body and her lower body with this thing.
No, not her lower body. Well, yeah. Okay.
When she eventually crosses
head
down.
I was going to say head
right?
to knee because they do show it ricocheting off her boots.
And this is, I think this is one of those choices where I'm like, I get it. You're making her slightly less powerful than Superman, but it would have been cool to see her walk out there and just have the bullets ricochet off, and then have everyone be like, "Oh, wow, this person's something completely different," and then have her jump and then come down and smash everyone. But if this had been me, if I could have rethought this scene, I would have been like, fuck the trenches. Have them walk into town and see the town being overrun by Germans. Let us see the Iron Man scene where kids are being pulled out of their houses and like men are being shot in the back of the fucking head, and these German soldiers are doing this horrible shit because they know they're losing, and they're just as they're pulling out of this town, they're just like fucking everything up, and then having Chris Pine go, no, we can't risk being seen by going in there, and then having it be too late. She's already walking into the fucking town to like just fuck everything up. Because I think that scene, like the choreography in that, the visuals in that, the energy of that scene is so much cooler than the trench stuff.
I like it as a build up too. I like that the trench is there. What I didn't need, was like so much on the other side of the trench, I guess, of getting like you're talking about, of like she's distracting. Well, because it's like Chris Pine's group. It's Chris Pine's group, and then all the soldiers rush out of the trench too eventually, right? And so like I would have had her, hop from that to right into town or whatever, right, and get it into there because that town stuff is. I mean, I think the No Man's Land stuff is good too, but different kind of vibe.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, I wish it was a little bit more creative and how she goes about taking down this group of Germans. Yeah, because I think what they end up doing with her later, where she literally fucking knees a dude through a window, and it's the coolest thing I've seen in like a long time. All that, like her going in and like doing the loop shit and stuff. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Action is awesome.
This action's awesome. Her taking out the sniper by just jumping through the upper level of the thing and demolishing it is super cool. Her standing there getting shot by a Gatling gun.
It was cool.
I liked it.
It was cool.
I think visually it was like kind of stunning to just see like she had crouched completely behind that shield, and it's just being lit up, and I thought visually that's like one of those really beautiful shots, compositionally,
I do love the fact that Chris Pine uses the worst weapon for long range shooting in this entire battle, just a fucking shotty. Just comes in with the fucking 12 gauge.
The one thing we haven't talked about at all is her outfit is fucking awesome. I love the design of it. I love the colors. I love how fucking vibrant and shiny it all is.
I wish it was more. Honestly,
more bright red. More.
I think they made a very conscious choice to take all the blues and the reds and dumb them down. I don't know if it was in the color pass or it was actually in the costume design itself. But I wish that fucking outfit was like blindingly
light
gold.
as the lasso is.
Yeah, like I don't understand why. Like she's supposed to be this image, and it's the same with Superman. The same criticism I have there, where like these characters stand for hope. They stand for like the salvation of humanity, and you've got them in these muted colors that just don't pop on screen.
I think it's a color pass
for this one.
I think it's a color pass. I don't know if it's the actual
I don't know, because I think in for sure in Man of Steel that Zack Snyder made a conscious effort to make that costume more dull.
I think this is the first time you see color in the DCEU. I think they're
it's just
adding
her.
it here. Yeah, exactly. And I shouldn't say it because Suicide Squad had color, but you know what I mean in terms of a hero costume. Where I think that it was brighter than it was. I think in.
But they
Batman
do that.
v
But
Superman.
so like I mean, not to harken back to like the classic representations of Wonder Woman because I know it's been all over the place. But like growing up, Linda Hamilton was my Wonder Woman,
Nope.
right?
Linda Carter.
Little Carter, excuse me, not Linda Hamilton. And she had just that fucking poppy red, white, and
Oh,
blue
yeah. Oh,
outfit.
yeah.
She had the gold tiara that was like just would shine in the fucking sun, and she looked like a goddess
Yeah.
when she was out there kicking ass. And in this one, it's cool, but they use like the matted like tiara, and I don't know, it's just
I think
not
it's
as much
way
as I wanted
cooler
to.
than the corny ass.
I don't
shit.
think I'm not saying that you have to have the corny shit. I'm just saying like
You
for
want more
fuck's
color.
sake, like put someone in a fucking outfit that has color in this in anything that has to do with the ETC.
They did have color in World War I, though.
That's true. Everything was
right.
black and white.
Yeah.
If you watch back all the old footage, it's all black and white.
So like we said, we've driven home. They fucked up the town. It's great. Really great fight. Really great choreography.
Cool fight.
Very, very,
They
very
do the
cool.
shield thing.
We get
throw
the
them through
Saving
there.
Private Ryan.
Good use with the lasso. Good use of
Yeah.
her power set. That's what you want to see.
The lasso combat was so fun to look at. It was so like I want more. I wanted way more of lasso combat, where it's so cool to see her because it's actually how lassos work. Like the way she is hitting somebody and the curve is still like in a weird motion. It's so badass looking.
I like it. I like, and
Visually, it's
again,
awesome.
I go back to how do you what is like how do you choreograph a scene where someone doesn't have a weapon and everyone around her does, and that lasso really goes a long way to do it. Like her whipping it around, and like grabbing one person, and like flinging them around, super fun. Yeah.
Charlie can't shoot his sniper rifle. This is where that's introduced. That he's still haunted by that. Or whatever.
can sing.
He can
Who
sing.
will sing to us?
Exactly, because that's what happens now. They party in the town now that they've saved the town. Hey, everybody, we're partying in the town. This is fucking dope. We saved you. Thank you.
I know
How's
you
that
got a
idea?
mission to do, but how about you just kick them
dance.
boots up? Let's just.
Hey man,
let's
they're not
just
going to
relax.
advance tonight.
It's
right?
like there's nothing we can do tonight. God forbid you go across a war zone at night when no one can see you. Let's do that in broad daylight, especially with the woman who's like 8 feet tall and again wearing a weird costume. Let's do that.
It's easier for the moviegoers.
It's fair.
Very true. So yeah, they party. Charlie sings. Congratulations, everybody. Sammy gives them some booze. Chris teaches her how to dance. They sit there or sway. The snow starts to fall. It's all very, very romantic. And then Chris Pine walks her up to her room, and she does not want him to leave. And they share a night of passion.
Kiss each other.
They have so much passion.
Barrett,
up
can you
there.
put us all in surround sound?
And then it's time to go to in the morning to the next thing, which is the governor's ball or whatever, the Bourdain ball, we'll call it. All right, they're doing a thing over there. They figured this out. They can go there. They can get all their shit. They're testing the thing. They're doing the stuff. Whatever's gonna happen. Great, congratulations, everybody. And so yeah, we all head over there. We all run up there. We all run up to the tree line and we look in like, okay, shit, okay, cool. How are we gonna do this? Chris Pine's like, I am a spy. I will go be a German guy. Sammy, drive me in. They're very racist. This will work. Okay, cool. And he's like, everybody else, just stay here. Everybody, just stay here.
Just be cool.
Just be cool. Be cool, chat.
Follow my lead.
And Chief, he's like, sure. Charlie's like, you got it. And Diana's like, get the fuck out of here, right? And so as soon as he's gone, she walks off.
She sees victory within its grasp. right
Exactly.
there,
Yeah,
you
she
know?
just wants because she's decided at this point. I'm sorry, that Bourdain, of course, is
Must be
Ares.
Ares.
Yeah. So she's just gonna kill him, end all the wars. Everything's razzmatazz, berry chipper out there.
Razzmatazz berry chip.
And so she walks off, and there's a whole bunch of cars parked there, including this one woman who has the exact right outfit. And the woman walks over, and Diana looks her up and down, kind of like the Terminator. And then next time we see Diana, she's in that outfit, and that woman we assume is dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I imagine she snapped her neck.
Pack
real
of
fast.
wolves.
Either
Yeah.
that or she's tied up somewhere freezing to death.
Exactly. Yeah. Either way, it doesn't end well for her, right?
No, yeah, we saw it snow yesterday, so we know that it's really fucking cold out.
And we also know that once everything the shit hits the fan here, Diana runs away.
Oh no,
She
that
didn't tell
woman
anybody
is-
she's there. You know what I mean? This woman didn't seem like anybody really gave a shit about
Really,
her.
when you start thinking about it, it's a mercy kill.
It- and so now we're in the party, everybody, and Chris Pine's in there, and he's Germaning it up, right? He's just being a big old germaphobe.
Big old.
Before that, I like the scene where he goes and he does the accent where he's like, "How could you forget the thing?" And he's like, "I'm so sorry."
Oh
I forgot
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing."
yeah.
I thought that was
The
a fun
soldier
back and
waves him
forth
through,
between
yeah,
them
it was
there.
He's
Yeah,
like, hurry up. I'm not here to
Many
listen to y'all
blessings,
argue.
many
We lost
Yeah.
the fucking war. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so eventually inside, though, he sees Dr. Poison just staring at fire like a psychopath, and he goes over there and he's all like, hey, Dr. Poison, big
She
fan.
cannot resist the charm and these beautiful eyes and,
And
these
he's-
beautiful
I get it, man.
lips.
He is crushing it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He has this like nice little monologue about how ashes or fucking
Fire in her
fire.
eyes.
She
Fire
may be
is
evil,
awesome.
but
See
she
it in her
still
eyes.
wants to get wet.
She's still thirsty.
Jesus, fuck yeah, okay.
Gotta get some-
and it's working.
That's what
you know
you
what I
know
mean.
about, right?
It
Like,
is working until the one and only Diana Prince walks in, right?
Totally subtle. Totally fucking
completely
subtle.
subtle, and nobody notices she's got a giant sword strapped
to her back.
Into her back.
It is. I get the idea. I get what they were going for, but good fucking lord,
But also,
how
like,
did that make it past the idea process?
Here's the weirdness of this scene for me. And I know I like that they're like Chris Pine's gonna sneak in. He's the subterfuge guys. He's the spy, right? But we just fucking saw her take down the entire German front and a town full of Germans and a tank and a sniper. Why would she not just be like, fuck it, I'm going to just jump through the roof and find this guy and kill him? No one can kill me. And there's like, I get there's 50 soldiers here, but I just fucking killed like 300 soldiers. So what, you know what I mean? The suspense in this is totally off because you know at any time she could just flip the switch and fucking murk everyone. Why not do that?
And also,
I digress.
And also, Poison Lady being like, I see you're distracted by something else.
It worked.
It didn't work for me.
Because he was in there. He was in there like Flynn. He was in like Flynn. He had it all sewn up, and then what happened? He got distracted. Not for the same reason everybody else did. Right? He's not like, oh man, who's this beautiful woman? He's like, oh fuck, Diana's here. She's gonna kill.
She might have a sword in her dress.
Well, I mean, she could kill him barehanded too.
I just feel like that
Maxwell
was
Lord style.
Like that was the most, the easiest way for her to be like, all right, well, never mind. You were about to get this poison, but never mind, not anymore.
Yeah, I love that he was within 30 seconds. Basically was talking her into like giving up this secret weapon that she's been developing for the last like 5 years, and also betray the one person who's backed her the entire time.
Yeah, she's
This
like,
scene-
Ludendorff loves me, bro.
This scene to me is I didn't like the scene. I'm like, this is way too fast and way too dumb, and like there's no way this person would have fell for this at all. And they try to like kind of make it like he's supposed to be so fucking charming that within 20 seconds he can get someone to like give up their country. No, come on. Didn't work.
Well, remember, he's part of the same country. He's there. He just wants to know the thing, and he can help her more than the other general. That's his whole shtick. It's not.
Yeah, he's like, I've got power.
Yeah, he's not saying like give it up to America.
I know
or
it's thin for me.
Yeah, it's pretty thin.
No, I agree.
And
I'm
then
not saying
especially her seeing him look at Diana and being like, "Well, I was about to give you everything you wanted, but now you see this hot woman, so
Like,
never mind."
the big
Wait,
problem.
Hold on, real quick. Now that Tim's gone.
Yeah.
Do you think he's like lost a step since the surgery? He
Oh,
doesn't feel like-
100%.
Oh,
He hasn't talked once.
I
the whole time.
I've looked at him and he's just been staring off, and I wonder if he knows he's here.
I thought I
he's
saw a lazy
really-
eye happening.
I think he's
Just
really confused because
drifted.
I don't think he recognizes us.
He has amnesia. They,
I think he
they
thinks,
lasered
he
too
thinks
far.
You're me, and I'm
Oh my
Andy.
God! Wow.
And Andy's Kevin. It's very strange for him.
Fuck.
No, the problem with the scene is like again, it comes down to tension for me, right? They needed to find a reason for them to be sneaking around and being spies. And the fact of the matter is, at any given point, the fact that she could just take her sword out and kill everyone in the room kind of kills this for me. There needed to be a little bit of doubt as to who Ares was for them to have to sneak into this and have a fun little side mission where they be spies for a little bit. But this just kind of like the whole scene just kind of deflates at the end of it, and then they just shoot the fucking things into the town and kill everyone.
And
She's
that's
like,
what
oh no!
happens.
But instead of killing him there, she like leaves, right? Or
Well, yeah,
how do they get out?
No,
She
she
wants to
leaves.
save the
Yeah,
town,
yeah,
yeah.
she wants to go save the town.
Right.
Chris and she goes to grab the sword and kill him. Remember this motion; it'll be important later in this movie.
Right.
She goes to grab the sword to kill him, and then when she comes forward, Chris grabs her hand. He's like, "No, you can't do it."
Why?
And then they all start getting bussed out to go see the demonstration. They argue for a while. Then they hear the shot. They run out. Oh my God, the smoke's coming from town. Because
like,
it's a race over to town.
The whole point was that he was supposed to try to figure out where they were making the
Right.
gas, right, or where the gas was.
Yeah, they need to take out the plants or whatever where they're
to
doing
take out
all
the
stuff.
actual plant, right? Okay.
And so
I think maybe also killing the two people that know how to make the gas would be top priority.
they got
Just
notes written
throwing
down
that out
now,
there.
and they're not in Ottoman or Sumerian anymore, right? They're
I'm just gonna let you know,
good
like,
old German.
That's another issue I have where it's like we have to take out the plant where the gas is made. But if you know how to make the gas, can't you just make it in another plant? Like you have to. I think killing the two people
the
who
head
know
of
how
the
to do it
snake.
is more important than taking out the plane that's going to take out one city. Granted, it's London, and I love London. Don't get me wrong, but in this day and age, it was ugly as shit. Probably deserved to just be wiped off the face of the earth.
I mean, the plague almost got him. You know what I mean?
God tried once.
So yeah, Wonder Woman rides up. There's mustard gas in the air. She runs in there. All the people that she was just partying with, they're fucking dead. And this is a special place, right? This is where she had sex with Steve Trevor. This is a big deal. This is where,
It's where
love
she
was
became a woman.
expressed. No, I don't know about that. I'm not going to touch that one. Chris
That'll be the
Pine,
one.
he runs up and he's like so in love with her. He wants to run in there, but he can't because the mustard gas, right? And he's
stinky
cough,
stink.
cough. And so she comes out and he's like, no, Diane. And she's like, get the fuck away, man. You fucking suck. I've been held back by your rules for too long and your stupid mission. I'm not about that life. I'm going to go fucking end this right now. I should have done it before. You stopped me from killing Ares. I'm going to kill Ares. Ares has to die.
And the way she finds them is because their tracker goes and follows Ludendorff, right? And then puts smoke
Smoke
signals
signals.
up and going to this giant
That nobody
airbase
would see.
No one would see it, and also this fucking airbase is huge.
It's a
They
very
didn't know about this
foggy
airbase
area,
to begin
yeah.
with. I don't know.
So yeah, they run and ride over there, right? And then Wonder Woman goes in first. She takes out the 3 German soldiers, right? She goes up there.
She does a backflip off a horse up at the top thing.
Yeah,
right?
that sounds right. She gets up there, and it's Dusseldorf himself there, Bourdain, and he's all like, "What the
Whoa.
fuck, man?" And he takes the smelling salts, right? And so then you're really proud of that one, huh?
Which one?
Old Frankfurter. I
Nope.
looked over, you're like,
Nope. Not even what I wanted to say. Just came out.
they fight for a while, right? They fight.
Yeah,
He's got
because he cracks the
superpowers.
cocaine. You're
Yeah,
like, oh, this is cool. This is going to come into play, but apparently the cocaine doesn't last that long.
no, he gets
Apparently it's better now.
he gets clowned out and stabbed through the chest. He's killed. It's over. It's
done.
And she looks up,
And
and,
she goes-
everybody's still fighting.
The God
Or they're
Killer
still doing their
sword is stuck in this guy's chest. I guess I'll leave it there. I don't need it anymore, right? I killed this guy, so let's put it there. I'm not going to sheath it.
While this is happening, Chris Pine has, as Steve Trevor, infiltrated. He goes up to the top of this Watchtower 2. Wonder Woman's there, and they have this conversation we've referenced a million times
They're
now.
still fighting. Yeah, they're bad people.
Yeah, I killed
It's
the
a
bad
war. It
thing.
just
No,
doesn't just
no,
end.
it's not that. It's bigger than one person. I wish I
I
could tell
love
you
it.
it's one.
Love
Me
this
too.
whole dialogue.
Totally.
It just
100%.
Then they just throw it out the window.
Well
Exactly.
acted, well written.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Ares isn't real. Maybe this isn't the thing. You know what I mean? But
Kevin's mom has a dog named Aries.
the God of War.
Yeah, anytime somebody like knocks on the door
The God of
or
Door.
rings the doorbell,
He just snorts cocaine.
dumbass fucking dog. It's like the dog from Babe.
Yeah.
You know what I
Pig in
mean?
the City or
yeah,
Babe?
No, Babe 1. What is it called? Border Collie?
Sure.
Right?
I didn't watch either.
I think his eyes are.
Yeah. This fucking dog will just like go down.
poisoning.
Like its back legs give out and it just pees. And then it just fucking
That's
lives
what
in
you
its
want
own
it to do.
piss.
That doesn't surprise me
Fucking
at
God
all.
of War.
And so yeah, I gotta go do this. You can do whatever you want, Wonder Woman. I gotta do this. I'm sorry, gotta do this. And so he runs off, and him and Sammy and Charlie put on German uniforms that from the guys Wonder Woman knocked out or killed. They start infiltrating because they're gonna figure out what's going on with this stuff. They get over there, they see all the gas in the giant plane, the crazy plane or whatever, right? And it turns out it's got hydrogen based or whatever, so it'll blow up, which is great. We need to know that, you know what I mean? And then Charlie and Chief, they're just fucking milling about, right? I forget what they're doing anymore.
Farting around.
They're walking around, fucking
Right.
around. And like, yeah, so then Chris Pine's like, I'm getting on the plane. And he goes to get on the plane. And while all this is happening, Wonder Woman's over there. She's like, I'm still in this tower. I fucking can't believe this. This is just outrageous. You know what I mean? And that's when Sir Patrick shows up and he's like, outrageous. Try nutrageous. Harry Potter.
I love the like the visuals of like her walking around and he's monologuing, right?
Yeah.
And then like she walks and he disappears. And then he's outside like, I'm
Yeah.
over here now.
Yeah.
And then like he talks to her from there and she turns around like, back here. Like, and I just want him to keep on reappearing around.
it's
I'm
the-
on the roof now.
Oh, it's like he's little on her shoulder. Ah!
yeah.
And it's the big reveal, right? That, yeah, he is in fact Ares. That this is the whole thing. That he doesn't. I don't make them kill themselves, Diana. I don't make them fight themselves. I just give them whispers of ideas for weapons, and they use it to destroy themselves because that's in man's nature. You know what I mean?
Well, and the whole point of his motivation was that Zeus made these things to love them, but he made these horrible creatures, and Ares was the only person that was like, they're terrible.
Yeah.
They're going to kill each other. They're going to try to kill us one day. Why am I the only person that sees this? And then,
Making a lot of sense.
yeah.
Took his eye off Kratos, though. That was his problem.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the problem, man. Calliope.
I didn't have her sword.
Yeah, exactly. The sword scene happened. I reached for I don't have my sword. We come back to Chris Pine. We come back. I have my sword. I
Well,
got
you're
my
looking
sword.
for this? Like, I expected one of those moments.
And she's like,
You
guess
got my
what?
sword, damn it.
Guess what, fuckface? You're dead because I got God Killer. And she goes to stab him, and he just goes, poof, and it
Cool
melts
effect.
in his hand. Awesome effect.
Really good
And then
effect.
she's like, oh, but and poof, there's a giant explosion up in the thing, and everybody's like, what the fuck was that up there? And Chris is like, this is our chance, let's fucking go. So the plane's getting ready to move, and stuff's happening, and then they start fighting. But she's immediately knocked down, like in way free of the fight, like way far away. And she lands over there, and she's like, and the bomb had gone off, her ears are ringing, and Chris Pine runs over, and he's like, "Where?"
Yeah. Okay. Another. We got to talk about this scene. This was a terrible, terrible fucking
what?
choice.
I don't understand,
What?
Jason.
Apparently, I can jump through a building and be completely unharmed. But a loud explosion. By the way, lots of loud explosions have been going off around her the entire time this shit's been happening. But this particular one, and
Loud.
no other ones, caused her a little bit of temporary hearing loss. Why?
I mean, it's
Why?
weird, and then we go back and she does hear it.
And
It's
she
like,
kind
Well,
of
she remembers.
remembers
It's such
what
a weird
he
thing
said.
to throw
So
in.
weird.
Just a
It makes no sense.
dumb fucking
Yeah.
scene.
This is where we talk about the third act being garbage and falling apart. That's where you're at.
Not the least of which was you got 3 soldiers, one of whom was a sniper. You can't shoot the fucking engines of the plane. Like, just ground the plane and then decide what to do
There's
with
no
it later.
time. Chris Pine runs away from Diana, jumps in the thing after giving him his watch, jumps in the plane, and it takes off, and he's got to get away. He gave us a weird explanation, like, I can't, if we blow it up here, it kills everybody here.
Yeah, if we
50
blow it,
square miles.
Yeah, if we blow it up here, it's a
same as going off anywhere.
Yeah.
But I like that she was like, I'll do it, whatever it is, I'll do it. And he goes, no, it has to be me. Like, I'm a man. Humans have to take care of their own problems. Like, I get that you want to be like the protector, but I have to go. This is my job. I'm a soldier.
Had to be.
I
me.
didn't.
I'm a dude.
Anyone
You're
else
a
would've done
Wonder
it.
It
Woman.
had to be you.
I mean,
Like
to be fair, in the
It
logic
had
of the
to
world,
be
yeah, she should have fucking taken out the plane
totally
in like 5 seconds.
It makes no sense.
Or just at least disable the plane so we can
I
figure
get
out what's doing.
Diana,
from there.
thematically it had to be him, but like,
Smash those engines. I'll fight the other guys.
Yeah,
Like,
just real quick,
yeah.
you take 2 seconds. You picked up a tank later. Just pick it up
Yeah.
and throw it at the thing. It's not gonna explode. Just the engines.
Yeah, exactly. Could have been super easy.
On one level, I get that he was like, if she does that, the thing will explode because it's made of hydrogen, and then everyone is dead. Everyone dies.
Grab
So
the
he has to
plane,
take
flip it around, throw it into the ocean. Bah, 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 bah. We shoot him in there.
Or grab the plane, fly it to an American airbase, land the plane. Now we have.
Now
the
we
power.
have the war.
Now we have the power.
Wow.
We are the war.
I don't
We
know
are
why
the
he
war.
had. I don't know why he decided he had to do that. It wasn't like it was
It's
like in
stupid,
Captain
man.
America. It was like automated, right?
Plane
He
didn't
couldn't
have enough
stop it,
gas.
and it was going to America no matter what. And he was like, "Shit, the only thing I can do is like ditch this plane." And this one, he's just flying the plane. He could have just landed it in the ocean,
Captain
gotten
America
out.
could have jumped out too.
Yeah, well, he should have jumped out, but then you wouldn't
deleted
have
scene from
Captain
Avengers.
America, the Winter Soldier.
Anyways, we're in the plane. He's up there. We're flying. We're just gonna blow up the plane here. We blew up the plane. Congratulations, the plane blew up. Ares was fighting Wonder Woman down there and just really kicking her ass, right? And he was just like, "Oh my god, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're a kid. Like, you're. Oh, by the way, you're Zeus's kid.
A lot of
You're
hella
just a kid,
vibes.
though, right? Yeah, exactly. And like,
The rocks.
Yeah, Zeus is your dad, but you suck. Let's see what kind of gods you are. We're fighting. We're throwing shit. Eventually wraps her up like in metal, and she's on the ground. That's when she sees the explosion.
what are you the god of again? And an immigrant song starts playing.
The explosion up there sends her into a blind rage, a la Goku, and that's when she has the power to remember the conversation she couldn't hear. And like, it's kind of like when in Batman v Superman, when Bruce Wayne plugged the little thing in and it was decrypting. This conversation had been decrypting in her head the whole time.
Yeah.
And
That
so
makes
now
sense.
the file's
She
ready.
had a progress bar.
Now
yeah.
the file's ready, and she gets to see that it was Chris saying, "I gotta go do this. I love you." You know what I mean? Like this, what a sorry man sucks kind of thing, but I love you.
Sucks I won't be in the next one.
Yeah, I understand what it all means now. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no possible way I'll be in
Nope.
1984. I'll see you later. And she's like, "Oh no, he died and he loved me. Fuck." And that's when she's like, "Oh, you know what? Now I'm gonna kick your ass."
Bum, 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 bum.
I am the god killer. And that's when, yeah, she's hovering around and fucking melting stuff that's thrown at her and all this other shit.
Somehow, I don't know. They literally, he
Brighter.
throws like
Brighter.
a shit ton of spikes at her, and they just melt before they get within 5 feet of her. And you're like, oh, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You maybe use that
She had
power
the
with
force.
Doomsday a little later, right?
That would have been helpful.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens, and eventually he's like, "All right, fuck you, man. I'm gonna throw some lightning at you." And he throws lightning at her, but she absorbs it into her bracelets, and then she sends it back, and that melts him.
Shoots a fucking
And
hole
she's
through
like,
his heart.
"Sorry, brother." So she says something like, "Goodbye, brother."
Krypton had its chance.
Yeah, exactly. And bring
Yeah.
a brother, and she fucking kills
Zeus
him.
had his chance. Olympus had its chance.
You
So
do
she-
Liquid Snake.
She kills him, and then it is exactly what we were
Goodbye,
told
brother.
it wouldn't be, where Ares was controlling all the Germans, because now everybody's happy and celebrating with Chief, who, even if they weren't fighting in a war, I think would be really, still extremely racist to him. But everybody's been hit with the good slime from Ghostbusters 2.
Got it.
Everybody's cool about this.
Yeah, years and years and years of that. Yeah, would
Yeah.
have been just dissipated
Done.
immediately.
It's over. And guess what? That's it. It's victory. We're back in London here for the victory celebration.
won the war.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's celebrating, kissing in the streets, and Diana's there. She ain't kissing nobody. But she's with Charlie, and she's with the secretary, and I think she's with Sammy. And they walk over to the thing, and the Chris Pine photos
he
there.
is.
Very sad, very sad. And then
It was
They
sad.
all look at it, and she turns around, she leaves, and she looks up at the sky, and she's just like, "Oh man, this sucks. I found love,
Big
but
ups,
he's
homie.
dead, and I can't go home, and now I'm just gonna work at the Louvre, I guess." You know what I mean?
More-
Also, we for
yeah.
sure didn't use a condom. So
More of the memory decrypted, and he was like, "Sorry, this was just a fling." Like, my bad.
I love you as a friend.
we're just having fun, right? We're just having fun.
Greatest gift is friendship. And then we go back to the timeline, right? We're back there, just looking at the little hologram there, the people on the glass, and it's like,
And
cool.
that's
She puts
how
it
I
up,
became Wonder
and she
Woman.
she writes to Bruce, "Thank you for bringing him home to me." Very sweet or whatever. And then there's like explosion outside. She's like, "What the fuck? That sounds like a minor fender bender that even when I scanned the best I could in all these wide shots, did not see smoke or anything crazy that Wonder Woman would need to go out and do. But Wonder Woman's like,
She's on the move.
fuck
man.
it, I'm gonna put on my airtight disguise of a tiara and my hair down and go from the
I'm gonna go
Louvre.
jump from through this building.
Jump, hopefully, I guess, to that bridge. I
thought maybe the boat she
I
was
thought it was
aiming
the
for.
boat,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay.
Was it just me? Did this shot look absolutely
It looks
atrocious?
really bad.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe they ended on it. It's just like, wow, this looks like poorly just photoshopped.
It was them doing the Spider-Man swinging through the city moment at the
Yeah.
end of the movie. It's just too much.
Yeah, and that.
You know what
Then
would be cooler?
after credits.
She goes up to the top of the Louvre, gets in the invisible jet.
That'd be
takes
even
off.
doper. Yeah.
She was in the jet the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was an after credits?
Yeah.
You're lying.
No, I'm pretty sure there wasn't.
I'll tell you the most insulting part of the movie though is that Tim bought all these Blu-rays or whatever, so you get the U rays, the UHD rays.
Yep,
I don't know what he's
U-rays.
doing.
Yeah.
And so he just gave me the Blu-rays because these aren't good enough for my fucking now 20 eyes or whatever the fuck he's got going on. So I put in the Wonder Woman.
See-through
They're just
walls.
the discs, right? They had all these discs laying around because nobody bought these fucking movies. So there's the normal ass discs from the movies. I put them in, Andy. Wonder Woman starts, and I get the coming attractions. And what do I get? I get Justice League trailer, and it's fucking the one chock full of the Snyder Cut stuff that isn't fucking in the real movie. And I'm like, God damn
Was
it,
it
why?
come
What could have
together
right now?
over
movie's a
here?
sequel.
Oh man, that's being generous.
let's do a little haiku and review.
7 syllables in the middle. You'll need 5 for the first and last line. If you're not poetic, no need to fret it. Haikus don't need to rhyme. Haiku in review. Haiku. There's nothing that ever rhymes with ooh, because I want to end it with like this movie is
Reviewed.
For you.
Reviewed.
But
This movie
review is
is
already,
reviewed.
we already say review though. Haiku and
You
review.
can't review. You can't
Yeah.
rhyme review with
It pisses
review.
me off, dude.
Uh oh, there it is.
There it
Hit
is.
us with what's happening with the back wall.
That happened all yesterday. in
Yeah,
PS11.
it's gonna. I have to go
If
into
we
the
leave the
studio.
wall on too much, that happens.
Yeah.
You can go to patreon.com/kindafunny to write your review in haiku form, just like Tensa Zangetsu did.
Wow.
Dope ass name.
What?
Tensa Zangetsu.
Wow, that's a dope. That's probably from some fucking something.
Gal is a cutie. Fell off when Ares arrived. Nice step up, DC. Caleb Davis says, Gal Gadot is queen. Film sucks after battle scene. Those legs are a dream. Let's see. Schnick3 says, Earth's darkest hour needs Themyscira power. Makes Ares cower.
Wow.
And then the final one.
like that one.
Ricky McFly.
Nice.
Ricky McFly came out of
Let's
nowhere
go,
and has been
Ricky.
on all kind of funny content the last
Fired
2
up.
weeks.
Ricky
Ricky.
McFly killing the game right here. All right. Nick can't say soldier. Gods really want a rematch. Oh, that it's a watch.
Did he just submit that?
Yeah, he fucking did.
submitted
Ricky McFly, dude, ahead of the
Just submitted
game, ladies and gentlemen. You too could be like Ricky McFly. I got a picture.
I don't like that I'm being judged up to the minute of what comes out of my mouth.
I ended up watching.
You like it when there's no consequences.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, hold on. 7 or no, Ragu.
Ragu. Ares is dead last.
What's up, everybody? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm
Welcome
joking.
to Rad Guys
You're
Talk
right, sorry.
Bad Guys.
It came out. I didn't make
This is the
anything.
show where we
Fuck you,
review
Caleb,
all
whatever
the
his name
bad
is,
guys inside the DCEU.
worst.
I'm one of
Marty
your hosts, Greg
McParty.
Miller, alongside the Hispanic heartthrob Andy Cortez.
guys, what's going on?
Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. Laser Eyes, a.k.a. Tim Gettys.
There I am.
Hey. Where do we want to put Ares? Right now, Volume 7, the DCEU Rad Guy Bad Guys looks like this. Number 1, Black Mask and Zaz. Number 2, Zod. Number 3, Rumslex. Number 4, Enchantress and her baby bro.
Put this below Zod.
I'm sorry, we won't take audience participation emails here. I would...
So that's good. We put Black Mask on one.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, no problem. We're here for you. Don't worry about
vote.
it.
That was a good call. Good call, guys. I don't know.
I'm on
The
the...
rounds
Probably
on.
right below Zod.
I'm thinking, right? Like, I think
Surrounding
it's either
Zod.
above Dooms and Lex or below Dooms and Lex. And the problem I have is that I'm torn on is
Dooms
that
and Lex.
that's number 3.
From Batman v
So
Superman.
where's
Batman
Zod?
v Superman.
Yeah. So
Number
Zod,
3.
so right now
Zod's
number-
above them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go.
My problem is
I would
that
go
Ares
below
just-
Dooms and
That's my
Lex.
thing is
Yeah.
like Ares sucks. I think Sir Pat is cool. I think he's a good. I like him, but I like him as a good guy. Even at the end, like his reveal, you're like, okay, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, he's just fucking when he does this fucking thing. And
Yeah.
That was
I don't
cool.
like it.
How do you guys not think that shit's
Reveals should make you go, what?
Yeah.
Not, what?
Yeah. Nothing really. Oh, okay. Yeah. I would put Dooms and Lex over them only because Jesse Eisenberg wasn't completely awful a lot of the time. Like he had moments. He had moments that kind of made me smile or say like, "Oh, that's a good line delivery."
Just because he wasn't completely awful a lot
All
of the
the
time.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
job.
I'm with that.
All right, then. Number 4, Sir Pat.
I put it above that.
There's no audience participation here, sir. I think McFly is going to be in this one before you, all right?
Yeah.
Time to rank the DC Extended Universe. Current rankings are.
Did y'all notice the Fast and Furious?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Was that on purpose or is that a fuck
I
up?
was watching the. I went to go watch the review like as soon as y'all did it, just because
Yeah.
I needed to see it. I was like, oh, I hope they notice it. And
It
they
took,
noticed
it took Greg a second, but he figured it out.
Number 1, Birds of Prey, now known as Harley Quinn:
Prey.
Birds of Prey. You hear about
Is
this?
it really?
No.
They
Yeah,
changed
they
the title?
renamed the name because it's not doing well.
They edge it tomorrow.
Which it should have been in the fucking first
What a
place.
shocker that people don't know what Birds of Prey
Yeah.
are. They fantabulous emancipation. Blah, 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 blah.
Of one Harley
Terrible
Quinn.
fucking name
Yeah.
for me.
2, Batman v Superman. 3, Man of Steel. 4, Suicide Squad. That's number 2.
The question for me is this better than
BVS.
Batman v Superman? I feel like it's a better movie. It's a tighter movie and a better movie than
Nick,
Man of
I'm
Steel.
right with you right now, dog.
But I don't know if it's more fun than Batman v Superman. Because the thing about Batman v Superman is there's a lot of really cool, fun moments. This one doesn't have that many standout moments to
I
me.
think this has more great moments than Batman v Superman does. Like the action, all the action scenes are dope in this, and I feel like No Man's Land is the weakest of them. Well, I guess the final fight scene sucks, but like the whole town scene's great. The choreography's great. Like Batman v Superman doesn't have any of those moments for me. And I like her, she's great. The chemistry's great with Chris Pine.
I mean, the story is way more straightforward than Batman v Superman. I think it's a leaner story. I think it's more easier to follow, obviously, which makes it to me a little bit more. I'm a little more invested in them. I do love the chemistry between her and Chris Pine. I think that's great.
Themyscira's dope.
I'll disagree with you guys. I think that Lupin did a great job as the bad guy. I think he's cool. It's just I don't think there was enough of him in it, but whatever.
I don't have a problem with him and his portrayal as the villain. I just think
Apparently
like,
you do, Andy,
because it
you
came
put
out
him
of nowhere.
fucking below.
That's a great point.
It
You know,
sucks. Like
I was in the audience for the Ragu Bagu apparently, and
oh shit,
You
you were
fucking-
there.
yeah,
I
you
didn't
fucking-
see
Oh, you
it.
should have come on, man.
I didn't see it.
See you down there.
I hate you guys so much. Fuck you, McFly.
Honestly, for me, it's interesting to hear you guys argue about it Batman v Superman. Because
You think it's under Man of Steel?
for me, I argue if it's number 1.
Really?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking a shot at Birds of Prey. I love Birds of Prey, but like I had so much fun watching this last night. And again, I think it's below Birds of Prey probably because, again, this third act makes no sense. Why is this fight? This is weird. Why they're fucking their own rules, which we hate so much. But to argue about it versus Batman v Superman, even like me loving Batman v Superman, enjoying that movie so much, even though it's not great, it's good. I thought this one sailed by, whereas even Batman v Superman this last time through, the 3-hour cut felt like 3 hours. Whereas this one, I love Chris Pine and her. I want to see them do more. Every time they were on screen together, I thought they were great, right? Even when it is her, I guess to remove even, I love her. I love this portrayal of Wonder Woman. I love this portrayal of Diana. And so to see her, I think, nail it so well and be this naive but like fucking warrior princess that goes through this thing, and the way she, even when it's around the characters I don't care too much about, of like trying to talk to Charlie and no, but you sang and blah, blah, blah. Like it's like I thought that's a fun line too of like, and how the character is when he's like, I guess you won't need me, I'm a shitty sniper. He's like, who will sing for us, right? Like if Nick said that line, he would be making fun of you. But like Diana says it, and you know she's so genuine and so real that she means that. Like she's a comforting
It's so
character.
real.
She can flip Sammy Sosa. Huh? Let's see if I got- She can flip the switch of being fucking super hard as nails, super tough. You know, fucking I love
Warrior.
no
But
man.
she's
Yeah.
genuine. She cares.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's made me so excited for 84.
Me too.
Absolutely. I mean, I love everything you just said. Gal Gadot, awesome. The one thing I will say is to contra that is that Sad and Birds of Prey movie starts, and I'm laughing right off the get go, and I'm thinking to myself, man, there's no way they can keep this pace up for the entire movie. And by the end of it, I'm like, I want to see what they do with this fucking post-credit scene. And of course, the post-credit scene is a complete troll. And I'm like, this is great. Had fun from start to finish. Thought the chemistry with all the characters was great. It's lean. There's not a part of that movie that doesn't need to be in there. And then we're done. We're out.
Yeah.
Good comic book movie. Feels like it's a comic book world. I think the characters really knew what they were aiming for. And I think it was the second time that Margot Robbie had played that character. She fucking nailed it. It had a good feel to it. This movie has elements that are fun, but again, I'll disagree with you because I watched it last night and I had to watch it in 2 parts because I got legitimately bored right around the time where they started getting to like the costume stuff and all that shit. And they get to the front line, I'm like, what is the point of this? There's not enough story in this for me to rank it as number one. Because really, nothing really happens in this other than she just fights the guy at the end. Yeah,
I'm gonna vote higher than Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
Probably stop there.
I do think it's an overall better, more cohesive movie than Batman versus Superman. And I love Chris Pine and I love Gal Gadot. On Batman vs Superman, I wish I'd probably have that ranked higher if what it tried to do was executed better. Again,
I succeeded in any way, shape, or form.
I still think of like it's a mess of a movie, but I still think of like those really cool moments that were almost fucking awesome, like the whole scene of Congress with Superman going there and the explosion happening, having that sort of sinister twist. This didn't really do anything remarkable for me. It was just always kind of right above average where it needed to be. And Batman vs Superman had really low points and some really high points. And I think I was just more entertained by BVS.
I think the reason I put this above that, though, is I think BVS, we argued, had some tonal issues where you're like, what is the point of this? Why is it so dark? Why is it so ominous? And this one felt hopeful and fun the entire way through. And I think that's largely because they really were like, let's focus on the Wonder Woman character and let's have her finding her identity, but always staying true to herself.
Yep.
And I think that's a character that I can really get behind. Whereas with Superman, my biggest problem with Batman v Superman was like, Superman's just not likable. He doesn't seem like the kind of person I can get behind. He seems kind of confused and bored the entire time and kind of a little like, why the fuck am I dealing with any of this shit? Whereas Greg hit the nail right on the head at the beginning of this. She's like, I know what's right and what's wrong, and what's right is going out there and trying to make a difference. And they have that. They even have a line here where it's mirrored with that sentiment's mirrored with Chris Pine, where he's like, "Well, my dad said you can either be when you see something wrong in the world, you can either be the kind of person that does nothing or does something, and I want to be the kind of and I've tried doing a lot of nothing, and it didn't get me anywhere. So, and I like that. I think the theme here is stated. I think it's backed up. I just wish there was more of an interesting story that really tested these characters a little bit more. Whereas with Birds of Prey, I feel like Harley has a really great character arc. I feel like she has, you have the beats of a story that you need to have where they find the thing and then they lose the thing and then they're overcome and then they have to figure out how to come together to beat the Black Mask, and I feel like that just hit on a much better level, streamlined level.
Birds of Prey, I think, really succeeded at what it was trying to do, and I feel like none of the other movies have even come close to that level of at least succeeding. I don't think it was that great. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and it was definitely a surprise, but I think that because it was so lean, it didn't give me the chance to hate any part of it, right? It was just like, it was always good enough, and it was always giving me, like, I believed in the world that they were the building. I believed in the characters. I believed in the jokes that they were giving. Even when they like didn't make me laugh out loud, I was just like, I get why you're making that joke. That makes sense for your character. I totally buy it. Wonder Woman, she's dope. I just feel like the movie she's in isn't that dope. It's like there's so much stuff that they're doing that I'm like, I don't care about this stuff. And it's hard, and I feel like we've seen now multiple times where they go through these type of problems. Like we saw it with Thor 1, we saw it with Captain America 1, where it's just like, when you take these characters and put them in worlds that aren't the modern times that we're seeing, you need to do something real interesting.
It gets basic. It feels kind of
just... It feels kind of copy and paste of just like, it's the war, and we're supposed to just know that. And I'm like...
Especially when you've seen her already fight Doomsday. And you're like, okay, well, we're seeing her kind of deflect bullets and stuff like that, yeah.
It's just like, you need to have the rules, you need to play by those rules. And this movie doesn't really play by the rules, but when it does, it works really well. Like, the fight scenes are dope, they look very pretty. I love she has a unique style. I love the score of the movie. I love most of the character interactions. So it's like, I think this is easily better than Batman v Superman, but I think it's real far from Birds of Prey.
Batman vs Superman had Jeremy Irons, though. Got to think about
Great
that.
point.
He
Great point.
Well, I know Tim and I didn't give our thoughts of Birds of Prey. I enjoyed it just like everybody else did. There was a moment though near the beginning of the movie where you and McGregor they're doing the cutting and the face off stuff, and then everybody's hanging upside down and they're like,
it's terrifying,
very very scary, yeah. And then the snot bubble moment happens, and that moment did not land for me. And I thought, oh fuck, this is gonna be the movie. Like, this movie's going to have this tone where the humor is just not funny enough, where he's like, no, I'm going to let you live. And he sees her with a snot bubble. He's like, is that a snot bubble? Never mind. Cut her face off. And it just didn't. And I was like, fuck, this movie's going to suck. And then it immediately sped up for me, and I loved the rest of it.
See, to me, that was, again, yes, there were those moments. That one hit for me, but there were other moments where jokes didn't hit. But I think they wanted to approach this like they did Deadpool, where they were like, how about what if we just shot for the fucking moon and we tried to make as many jokes and as many crazy little cracks as possible, knowing that 80% of them will hit, 20% won't hit. Same with Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2 for me. But for me, it keeps the energy going of
You'll
the
be
movie,
laughing
and then
5
you get-
seconds later, not thinking about the joke.
Yeah,
didn't
that
work
one might
5
not
seconds
have,
prior.
but like the hyena, like seeing the Bruce name tag on the hyena, I was like, this fucking
Dude,
so fun.
The Huntress joke about her name.
God,
It
the crossbow
fucking
killer,
got
the
me,
crossbow
dude.
killer,
and
the
it
crossbow
got
killer.
better as the movie
Yes.
went on. I loved that shit.
was fun.
But yeah, I feel like Wonder Woman doesn't have those moments.
But also, if you wanted to be in the Birds of Prey review, like maybe just come to work occasionally.
I have Kevin's review. Do you want it?
Go for it.
Dear Tim, I hope your eyes are doing better and that your vision becomes as strong as me and Nick's. And maybe Greg Miller, because we all know he's faking it with his glasses. But back to my opinion on this movie. The colors were amazing. Themyscira bathed in a beautiful baby blue that reminded me of the best baby blues in the Bay. Greg, please take a pause to check and see if Tim's eyes still capture the beauty of the midday sky.
They're a little more dull now.
Yeah, they're dull.
Yeah,
They're
it
dull.
was gray.
If not, please contact me as soon as possible. Hopefully the laser didn't darken them. It did.
They
It
look
darkened
gray,
them.
like super.
they're-
like,
The
Good point.
action of
Remember
Wonder
that.
Woman was a lot of fun, although I would have preferred to watch it in Tim's new home theater. We haven't had time to set up the Atmos speakers, but the surround sound is still great.
Did Kevin write this? He's being
true.
really nice.
Yeah, the movie wasn't as good as I remember. The writing, in my opinion, is not great and had a lot of lines that didn't land. The third act falls apart, doubling down on the gods thing. I guess I would put it as number 2 under Birds of Prey. If Andy is there, please ask him to give Tim a love-filled hug for me, and please have him whisper into Tim's ear that I always knew he could handle it.
I always knew you could handle it.
I was just scared the lasers were too strong.
I was just scared the lasers were too strong. Is that what he said?
Yeah, you know it.
Oh, okay.
I'm
there we
gonna
go.
text back Kevin that the eyes look bad.
So there we go. Let's vote for this. Who thinks it's better than Man of Steel? Raise your hand. We all raise our hand. Did he say where? Yeah, he votes
Number 2.
one. No, yeah. Who thinks it's better than Batman v Superman? Raise your hand.
Andy can't do it.
I'm gonna lose anyway, so I'll just leave my hand.
Everyone except Andy. raised
I
their
want
hand.
to.
The new ranking of the DC Extended Universe: number 1, Birds of Prey; number 2, Wonder Woman; number 3, Batman v Superman; number 4, Man of Steel; number 5, Suicide Squad. Next week, we're gonna watch Justice League, baby.
I'm excited.
Let's go. I've only seen
You're
it
a
once.
crazy person.
We only saw it. In
I only
the
saw
theater.
it
I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it right now. Justice League better than Batman v Superman.
You only saw it once. Shut
It's-
up.
I don't like it, Andy, at all.
You know what I'm excited to do right after this?
Popcorn.
Watch the Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. Dude. I'm all hyped up.
Did they drop
you
it?
know what we should do next
No.
week? We should somehow hire someone for $5 to take out all of our mustaches
Let's go.
Until then.
for an hour.
Keep
Stay
keep
super.
wondering.